Party people in the place to be, live from 58 Dream Street. We're James with Games. Happy Sunday. Hey, Cedric, in the house. Love hangover for the dear, sweet love between Harry Dubois and Lieutenant Kim, the only person who respects him even a little in this world. Very exciting Sunday for me, because they've all been exciting Sundays lately, because I get to play Disco Elysium, a game that I friggin' love. So here we are. Hope everyone's well. Unfortunately, I had to take Saturday off yesterday. I was planning on doing another Jamie stream playing Leisure Suit Larry in my drag persona, Jamie Rose, but ran afoul of the fact that we had too much going on in the morning. And then Greg's birthday. It was Greg's birthday weekend. So we had to go to Greg's birthday celebration in the evening. And so I didn't have that much wiggle room to like push the stream back. So we started to get me ready, Danielle and I. And then it just wasn't going to happen. And so because we'd already got started, I did wind up just surprising Greg at his birthday in full drag, which was fun. And so we did get to test the look that I will do next time. And it was real good. I looked great. So get excited for Ski Bunny Ice Princess Jamie Rose at some point in the near future. And for now, let's resume the tale of Detective Harry Dubois and the very strange murder in Martinez in the Ravers district. Without further ado, firing it up. Make it appear on the screen. There we go. All right. And we're off to the races. So when last we left our, maybe not a hero, but he's at least trying to be a better guy, Detective Harry Dubois, he had woken up on Wednesday morning, 2 days, not quite 2 days sober, but he's more sober than he probably ever expected to be for 36 straight hours. And he and Lieutenant Kim got up to interviewing a person whose fake name escapes me and whose real name escapes me, although we did find out she's using a fake name. The alleged sexual assault victim upstairs, allegedly assaulted by our murder victim and allegedly murdered in retribution for that. Well, we spent the whole Wednesday morning in game and pretty much the entirety of the last session going up and down the stairs between the Hardy Boys and the alleged victim, and knocking the legs out from under both of their stories until such time as Clazier was her name. Sometime when Kim's not around, I might want to talk to her just to find out what horrible, shameful things I was up to, because she's in the room near mine, so she might have heard me shouting things. But yes, so we know this guy was shot. We know that there was a hanging to cover up his shooting. We know he was shot in Clazier's room, probably from somebody outside the window. Hey, Juffawet, you did it. You made it. Here you are, because yeah, I'm at the say what has happened recently and then start doing things phase of the stream. So pretty much all you missed was that while I was unable to stream yesterday due to time constraints, I did wind up going to Greg's birthday celebration at the local board game cafe in full drag. So we got to test out the look we were going to do, and it's real good. Ski Bunny Ice Princess Jamie Rose hits good. So everyone can get excited for that at some point in the near future. Not next weekend because Danielle will be away, and I do not have the skill to do it myself yet. Okay. So here we are. We had made it into this place. Oh, we did search it all. I thought the first time I was in here that I had seen another staircase, that there'd be 2 areas to explore. In fact, just the one. So yeah, we had finally got through the blue door after finding a secret key. So that was the last thing we did. We went down there. I can't remember exactly what we found. Although we did develop the theory that the hostel, the Whirling and Rags, might be part of the doomed commercial area. So we might talk to Garte about that on our way out and see if he's upset. I want to make Titus give up Ruby's location, which I think is going to require me to spend a skill point, but I believe I've got skill points to spend. Oh yeah, I've got 3. So we should be okay there. Alright, so first things first, I'll eat your brains. And then I start rocking gold teeth and chains. No, I'm going to talk to Garte.
Can I help you?
Well, Garte, I saw another thing at the Whirling.
Another thing. Great. I love those.
Oh, hey, I can report to him. I can snitch on this. Oh, but I shouldn't. At least for now. I'm not going to snitch. But yeah, there's a peephole.
What wall?
Upstairs in the secret back room, right next to Clazy's bedroom. I think it's used for looking in on guests. That is a thing that we found while exploring the
I'll have
back
it
area
fixed
there.
at once. Thank you for letting me know. I assure you, the Whirling does not abide spying on its guests.
And I believe Garte here. Maybe I'm a poor judge of character, but I think that Garte is a stand-up guy.
The color has drained from his face.
Yeah, he doesn't feel great. Oh, well, hold on. So, yeah, maybe someone on your staff was curious, Garte.
No, we don't hire staff like that. Thank you for letting me know.
Well then, hold on.
Taken care of as soon as possible.
You don't hire staff like that. Do you have managers like that, Garte? Have you been up to anything?
Absolutely not.
He breathes in and out.
Fuck you for even implying it. It wasn't me. It wasn't my staff. The establishment will look at it and ascertain what it was.
Okay.
Sir, he was only asking a question. It's his job and mine. See that it's covered.
Kim raises a good point, Garte. I'm not trying to be a jerk here. I'm just trying to dot all the I's, cross all the T's.
Yes, I absolutely will.
He calms his breathing.
Sorry, it's been a bit of a day. And now a hole in the wall.
Well, you've been notified, and you're forgiven.
Thank you. I'll patch it up personally. Was there something else about the establishment?
Well, I mean, what if I told you that I got into your back room there? Got through the blue steel door.
Oh, okay. Well,
He controls his
I
excitement
didn't hear
well.
you make noise back there, so good for you.
Is he really not excited, though?
He's really holding himself back here.
He doesn't want to give me the satisfaction of knowing I've made his day.
It takes a lot of willpower not to ask. Obviously, he's been wanting to know what's behind the door.
Got any questions you want to ask me, Garte? About my discoveries?
Okay, what is back there?
Pinball machines. It's just a pinball workshop.
Ha! I knew it. I've always wondered where those machines by the door came from. And they told me there was some kind of pinball thing here too.
Yeah, I guess there was.
I knew it. Were there any back there? In working order, I mean.
Why? You want to play a game? I might be up for a game.
No, I
Play
was
some pinball.
just wondering.
Appears to be making a calculation in
You
his head.
found pinball machines there.
You thinking of turning the place back into a pinball arcade?
No, but we could diversify the entertainment options, seeing as you've opened the door back there. Well, the machine we have in the corner now is broken. It wouldn't hurt to get a little life in here, other than the hellish karaoke machine. That one's always causing trouble.
Oh, Garte, just you wait until I finally find the right song. You want that karaoke machine causing trouble.
Yeah, those numbers he's adding up must be making good sense to him right now. Sounds like he cares about the place. He's not going to be overjoyed to hear
Th-
that it's part of the doomed commercial area. He should still know. You have to be forewarned about these things.
All right. It's going to sound weird, Gart. I'm not sure I'd buy it myself. But I don't know if you know Plaisance over at the bookstore. Anyway, she believes that there's a doomed commercial area where all the businesses are doomed. And I think, based on our discoveries beyond the blue steel door, that the Whirling is part of that area.
What?
He looks
Why
mildly
would
startled.
you say that? We're at a completely different address from that whole thing.
Well, are you, though?
So he knows of the doomed commercial area and its address. He's thought about this.
So the Whirling is actually listed on the intercom outside there. It's one of the businesses in building B of the doomed commercial area.
I've been working here for a long time, and that intercom has never been used by the Whirling.
Well, but the Whirling was once the East Delta Pinball Arcade, right? Before it failed.
Does this
Can-
look
only a
like
matter of
part
time.
the doomed commercial area?
He makes a sweeping
this
gesture.
Revolutionary tile work, these high ceilings, the nice rooms. Well,
Stupinski, welcome. It's a regular disco inferno up in here today. Happy Sunday.
for 14 years, man. That's how long I've worked here. I've kept this place up through hail and through sleet. Fuck me, if some doom ghost.
He steadies his voice.
He's done a fine job too. Though he's spoken of the place dismissively before, the hostel is actually very important to him.
You really care about the Whirling, huh?
Yeah,
He
it's
sighs.
slowly growing on me again. It's beautiful in its own way, especially for this neighborhood. I've been trying to keep it that way.
Well, just imagine what it's going to be like when there's pinball.
Even if it is part of the damn doomed commercial area.
Yeah, I don't think you should be so worried about that label. To be honest, I don't believe in curses.
I don't place much stock in the curse and so on, but the label frightens the clientele. Who wants to stay at a doomed hostel? Everything's doomed enough without that.
Yeah, no kidding. Who owns this place anyway?
Some real estate management company. They never come around here, just collect money from afar. Honestly, I think some money laundering might be involved.
Well, geez. Kim, you want to put that down in your notebook?
There is an acrimonious note. It's clear he's doing the real work around here.
How'd it get the name?
Well, it sure as hell wasn't the real estate company.
Nah.
It was you?
You look surprised. What? It's a great name, I know. Cafeteria managers come up with great names too. It's from a song.
Oh, yeah, song?
Hail, Holy Queen, by the Ateniers. Hail, Holy Queen of the Sea.
He
You're
quotes.
whirling in rags, you're vast and you're sad.
Oh, nice.
Good pick.
The lieutenant nods. You like this place better than those other cafeterias you manage?
What about them? One is a basement dive frequented by chain-smoking communists. I can't tell you how sick I am of Kraz Mazov and Ignis Nielsen and all those old ghosts.
He's hesitating, not sure if he should share this information with you. Encourage him.
What about the others?
The other is a kebab cart. It's very successful in its way, but it's nothing like the Whirling.
Well, hey. Good luck with this place then. The one that really counts, right?
Luck has got nothing to do with it.
He looks
I
to where
need
the
think
hidden
about
room
where
is.
I'm going to place those pinballs. I have a feeling they're going to help.
I'd certainly come here more often. Actually, I'd come here exactly as often as I've been coming lately, if you had pinball. But I would drop a few quarters.
So, if you didn't have anything else to tell me about my establishment, can we, wrap it up?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
No, take care. Goodbye. I do not have the money for my bill tonight yet, but I'm close. I'll get it. I'm good for it. You can trust me. I guess. Okay, hold on. Check out my map. Titus Hardy, impossible logic check. But it's available? I guess I should try it before I even level up if it's available right now.
It's you again.
He acknowledges
What is it?
gruffly. Feel like we've developed a bit of a rapport. A little bit of grudging respect. Oh. I've actually got really good chances here now that I've found the secret route. 92%. on an impossible check of 18. You gotta love that.
I fear I just can't piece this puzzle together. At this point, the only sensible thing to do is get someone else to put the pieces
No,
together.
I'm gonna do this on my own.
Suit yourself, but remember, you're the one putting yourself through this hassle.
Yep, I get it. I know. That's why it really hurts. Okay, let's get moving. Just hold on, Titus. I'm gonna go back to the drawing board for a minute. It's a shame. I could probably have stopped leveling up my logic forever. But I had to fail a 92% check. Let's try this one more time.
It's you again.
Sorry.
What is it?
Oh, nothing. I just had to collect my thoughts here for a moment. I have a theory. It's coming to me. It's right on the tip of my tongue. 97%. Very high. If I'm forced to put another skill point in, it's going to say unlosable.
A sudden flash of
There we go.
lightning in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit by its airy blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectories, webs of human emotion, all channeled into a single thought.
What makes you so sure that Ruby didn't off him? Our dead guy.
So that's what you were squinting at.
He looks at you.
You were trying to come up with a theory, weren't you? That she did it.
Not precise. A theory that she could have done it. I'm a good detective. I like to figure these things out, not just pin it on someone.
Yeah, he was cobbling together shit so he could put her away. It's RCM 101.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Alain.
Well, let old Titus set your mind at ease then. She didn't do it. She was here all night.
Oh, yeah?
Sunday night, 11:30 to 12:15. She was here all that time?
Yeah, with us, drinking, near the stage there.
All right, and she never went to the bathroom, even once.
No.
In the whole 45-minute window, she was with you that entire time. You never took your eyes off her.
All right. She took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment. Maybe went out, too. She has a complex operation to run from her lorry.
He points
She's
to
a
the
busy girl.
intersection.
Always has been.
Of course, Ruby is the lady driver in this great big jam mystery. Probably. You'll have to keep investigating. They'll never open up about it.
Just because she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot the merc. I've
Taps
been
on his
through
temple.
this. It's not plausible.
But once you've eliminated all other possibilities, what remains, however implausible,
All right.
Must be
we're
true.
in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. This was crucial. Now let's place her on that roof.
So, just to make sure that we're all on the same page about the background facts here, whoever did the murder, you agree the shot came from the roof? Who killed our victim?
Why not?
The shot that
You
killed our
can't
victim?
draw a straight line into Clausia's window from any of the surrounding buildings. Not from what I know about Martinez. Maybe from the coast. But like I
Yeah.
said, I've been too busy dealing with you idiots. So no,
Shakes his
I
head.
don't think it was a sniper. It was close up.
Yeah, we're on the same page there. I give it like a 72% chance. That's where it came from.
72%.
He picks up his beer.
There's a percentage and all. Where'd you get it from? Your guys in the lab?
No, it's the bullshit kind of statistics. I just,
No, you can't. I know what you did here on the weekend. People talk. And what they say doesn't sound like a science column. You're a madman.
Have you ever heard of the tale of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? No, I guess that doesn't exist in this universe.
Those numbers were an ass pull, man.
I mean, listen, Eugene. Maybe going to 72% is a bit far. Maybe I should have just said it's quite likely, a 2/3 probability.
Yeah, and they don't put her on the roof either. It's just mambo jumbo. He hasn't got shit.
Oh, yeah. Well, what if I mentioned that there's a secret route in the kitchen that goes right up to the roof?
Oh,
He looks sincerely curious. Goes through the old abandoned pinball workshop, if you can believe that.
People say there was a pinball arcade here, sometime before the hostel. What was it called, Theo?
Yeah, Theo.
East Delta Pinball Arcade.
The old man coughs.
Weird place. Went bankrupt.
It's the curse.
Okay, but
The man looks
how'd you
around.
get up? There's no room for a staircase in this building. Or an elevator, for that matter.
Au contraire, mon
The
frère.
elevator is outside the building. It's an old dumbwaiter used for moving pinball machines up and down from the workshop.
And then from there, door leads straight outside of the roof. You can just step right out.
Ruby could have gone up, shot him, come down. All under 7 minutes.
So I guess what we're asking is, when Ruby went to the bathroom, did you think to yourself that she was peeing, or...
That's quite the theory.
He turns to Eugene.
Have a look at that secret passage, boys.
All right, just be careful with the pinball machines. Garte will be very upset.
I'm on it, boss. Right when the law clears, me and Angus are going up there.
What, you don't want to walk past me, Eugene? Think I'm going to tackle you?
It's a dumbwaiter, not an industrial lift. How about I go instead of...
A stream that's not Manta Hanta. One minute. Oh, yes. You know, I've only played one Monster Hunter game, and I don't think I gave it enough of a chance. In many ways, it seems like a series that would appeal to me, except that, at least at the time I tried it, I did not have the chemically induced patience that I have now. I had just finished, I played Dark Souls for the first time. This was like a decade ago. I mean, I get it. Like, the idea of, like, you know, planning your strategy of how you're going to take down this beast and, like, customizing your loadout and going into the fights. But, yeah, I don't know. When I played it, it just, it didn't hit right for me because I just played Dark Souls and I was like, this is great. What are other games like this before I just go right on to Dark Souls 2? And the one I kept seeing mentioned was Monster Hunter, obviously because specifically of the like timing and positioning based combat. And that's one thing I love about Dark Souls and the other FromSoft, you know, Souls games, but it's not the whole thing. When like the kind of the exploration, the lore, the mood, none of that was there. It just didn't hit right for me.
Just now, you got something else to back this route up? Or is that it?
Hey, that's a fair preference. I'm vast and contain multitudes, so I love the Dark Souls games. And I love my classic RPGs. Not here. I am not on the stream, but I'm playing the Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake right now. Real good. I just got a sage in the party, which is basically like a red mage, but without the penalties. Like a red mage in Final Fantasy is like not the best white mage, not the best black mage, but can do both spells. The sage is just a priest and a other thing. Priest and a wizard. So, well, I mean, I found footprints upstairs in the old workshop, so.
Footprints. Recent.
Yeah, recent.
What else could you make out? How recent? What size?
Well, I don't know what size, but they had horizontal lines. If you know about Ruby's souls.
Horizontal? I see they taught you well in your RCM school. My old man, a hunter and a half blind one at it, could have said that. Horizontal lines.
Ooh. Is Fury, is that an indie game that's basically like a boss rush? Lots of timing based battles. If it is, I think I played it. years ago. Okay, so I'm not a shoe sole expert, Titus.
Good news is, I'm still listening.
Hey, that is good
He
news.
knows they had to be recent for those lines to still read. This wasn't a failure.
Yeah, I played that game. That was good. Like, it wasn't great, but like the boss rush part was fun. And yeah, music was great, looked cool. I dug it. Well, okay, how about this? Brace yourself, Titus. You remember the key we were in here talking about an hour ago?
I don't like guessing, Carl. No one does.
It opens the steel door in the kitchen, the one that leads upstairs to the roof. This key was right here with you all the time.
And you didn't find it. You know who I think found it? Ruby. I think Ruby put it there. I think that's how she got up there.
Quit jumping to conclusions, Theo.
He turns to the old man.
Key. Did it look like it was recently put there?
The voice actor read it like this was a comma. Quit jumping to conclusions, Theo. But I think it's clearly supposed to be a period.
Now, the ribbon was old, faded. It had been there for 20 years at least.
She could have just put it back when she was done, though.
Why? This doesn't make sense. It's damn interesting, but it doesn't fit well, and you know it.
But sometimes those are the important clues. The ones that don't seem to fit, but are interesting.
It doesn't fit well, but it fits. And he knows it. Also, it has to be said, this man would make a good RCM sergeant, or maybe even lieutenant. Just don't let him anywhere near women.
I guess we might as well click all the options. Notice the winch out back?
I've seen the winch. I'm not blind.
He nods.
You saying it's part of the elevator she used to get up there?
That's right.
That's wall mystery down there. An architectural mystery. Doesn't much concern Ruby, does it?
Unless she used the elevator to get up there and shoot the guy, in which case it concerns her quite a bit.
He knows it's something. He's just not ready to say you knew more about Ruby than he does yet.
Anyway, besides that, do you guys like pinball?
Right. What the fuck does that got to do with Ruby?
Nothing. Just separately, I thought, maybe the boys could help Garte load some of them down.
Wow, man, can we? I mean...
That'd be awesome. I beat that royalist machine 20 times now.
The hell do you mean beat, Glenn? Like got the high score?
All right. We can get the barman to bring them down. What else?
Excellent. Great. If there's a pinball minigame in this, accomplished entirely through dialogue trees, just some text vividly describing the arc of the ball, and then you're like, left bumper! Tilt the machine, but not too hard. So what do you think? Seems plausible, at least. Yeah.
Firmly doesn't go well with could've. There's a route to the roof. Me and the boys need to check it out. That's what we've established.
And we've established it firmly.
But a route.
He forms a gun with his hand.
That bullet in his head. A gun does that, and Ruby doesn't carry one.
Phase 2, murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt. In the shape of a gun.
You know, we're in Revachol, right? Anyone can get a gun around here except me. And I did have one recently.
Look, fucko.
Glenn
Ruby
steps
and I
forward.
are pretty tight. She would have showed me the gun if she had one. She knows I love guns.
Unless she was trying to keep a secret from you.
Yeah, everyone knows Glenn...
Rego Death, welcome. We're still not heading down the coast yet. We're having one more conversation with Titus and the boys to try to persuade them that Ruby is a suspect and see if they'll cough up any information. Hope your Sunday's treating you well.
I don't know, Glenny. Ruby's
Rat face
a little
leans across the
secretive,
desk.
Isn't she? Wasn't like she told you every little thing.
Yeah, that's right, Shanky.
This one does not like Ruby. May prove useful.
Clausier. And I know, not the most credible source, but she said Ruby takes care of things. A lot of people taking care of things in Revachol without a gun on them.
She organizes things. She doesn't whack people. That's not the kind of person she is. She's a talker.
Oh, yeah? Shanky, you want to weigh in?
It's clear this one is protective of her.
Yeah. Glenn loves Ruby. Shanky does not.
Easy now, Glenn.
He turns to
What
you.
he's trying to say is, people who don't have guns don't shoot people. You need a gun for that. You can't prove
Granted.
she has one.
You don't need to prove anything. Doubt is enough for now. And Titus must have some.
I mean, also, we got a grant. There is still that 28%, give or take, confidence intervals and whatnot, chance that the shot came from beyond the roof.
God damn it, I know what a 72% chance means. It means there's a 28% chance it isn't that.
Oh, you'd pass the RCM aptitude test.
20% is no small chance either.
It's not that small, no.
Just making sure we are on the same page.
Lieutenant
It
pretends to take a
doesn't
note.
benefit. We are just sharing info, candidly.
Building trust, Titus.
Titus doesn't reply. Probably a good sign.
Meanwhile, like we were talking about me being a madman, I did sell my gun to the pawn shop, and it was sold. Bird's Nest Roy said he sold it to a lady. Which, again, gives me a dreadful feeling about my culpability in this murder.
You lost your gun?
The blonde man is taken aback, not even laughing. No, I didn't lose it. I sold it for a good cause, to prevent myself from committing suicide in front of people here at the Whirling.
What an idiot!
Hey, shut up, Shanky. I bet Ruby doesn't even like you.
Tell me, did you lose it before the murder?
Yeah.
No, you didn't. And Ruby didn't use your lost gun to kill him.
I lost health for that. That's interesting.
Stop thinking about your lost gun, damn it.
Oh, I see why.
You get a heart.
Stressing myself out.
This was merely a thought exercise. He did not lose his gun.
Yeah, it's not lost. I sold... no, yeah, sorry. Anyway, I didn't say that I'd prove she had the murder weapon. Just that we need to find her. We need to... See, the way this works is that we try to eliminate suspects. Right, Titus? I'm just trying to make sure you understand procedure, because I'm going to try to recruit you.
Why don't you find your lost gun first?
Tattooed man bursts out laughing at his own joke. Well, these things might take care of themselves together.
Easy now, Al. This isn't comedy hour.
Thank you, Titus.
Titus, we're not seriously considering it, are we?
He almost gets
Ruby
up from
would
his
do
seat.
this. Why would she do something like this?
Phase 3. Motive.
Motive
The
means
last
opportunity.
component.
We're doing it in the opposite order. But we've established opportunity. We've sown some doubt about means.
The big one. Get this and they'll give her to you. Remember, don't piss him off. That never works.
Well, to me, it's not why would she kill him or why did she kill him. It's why'd she, take the lead on this cover-up.
And I suppose you have a theory on that.
Well, Occam's razor, or whoever in this universe came up with the concept of going with the simplest answer. She could have just been covering up for herself, Titus.
Think about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging. You went along, but she suggested it.
She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit. Right when she came back downstairs.
Thank you, Shanky.
Really, Shanks? Plosio wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd have been first.
But you weren't, were you, Eugene?
Time for a logics demonstration.
Okay. Well, hold on then. Eugene, let's assume you had done it.
He scoffs.
Think. You kill him. Get up there. Shoot him. Get down.
So, had you done that, thinking maybe I'll get caught, not that any murderer plans on getting caught, would you rather go on trial with all the Hardy Boys as part of a lynch mob? Maybe even get Kuno in there as a juvenile offender? Or would you rather just go up alone for committing wanton murder? Depraved heart murder.
The man is silent.
Cat got your tongue,
If
Eugene?
she used us to cover her own shit up, well, that's a serious violation of the Hardy Code, boss.
Thank you, Shanky.
Which is why she didn't. She would never do that.
Shut up,
Why
Glenn.
aren't more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus.
He's waving his beer around.
Glenn, I
Titus
thought
looks
the
grim.
Same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit.
Oh, she skipped town, did she?
Oh, so he didn't rule her out completely. And she skipped town. This is good.
So, when Classy came downstairs, kind of sounds like Ruby knew something was wrong.
Nah, man. That's just Ruby. She's got shit under control.
The man explains.
That's her whole thing. That's why she's so good.
Ah, she's got shit under control. So she's the kind of person who could pull off a murder and then trick her associates into helping her cover it up without even revealing to them that she had done it.
Plus, man, it's like female intuition. You know, women talk to women,
He peeks at Titus.
which is sort of why we need someone on the team who they talk to.
Yeah. Yeah. Female intuition. That's got to be it. You're right about that, Eugene.
Yeah, exactly. Why not, man?
Because it's stupid.
Wishful thinking has no place in a police investigation.
The lieutenant tells Eugene, his voice mild but firm.
A more serious consideration that you wish to avoid is that she knew what happened because she did it.
And I gotta say, Classy had told me some pretty interesting things about Ruby.
Yeah. Like what?
Well, apparently she had a bit of a thing for Classy.
A thing? You mean?
He tilts his head to the side and falls silent.
Yeah, but
The fat man looks up from the
both
table,
girls.
oblivious. Angus. Not very worldly, huh?
Girls like girls too, Angus.
The lieutenant explains.
This is one of those times. She liked Glacier.
Yeah. What Kim said.
Fuck you. First
Man
she
can't
says
believe what
she's
he's
murdered
hearing.
him. Now she's a too. It's a lie.
All right, cool it on the slur. And I'm just going to point out that the murderer thing is a lot worse than the lesbian thing.
Come on, Glenn. She likes Monica's titties more than you do.
The Mesk smiles.
Everyone knows which way the wind blows there.
I did. I knew it. That's why she didn't fuck me at Fatty's birthday party.
Thank you, Shanky, I guess.
She didn't fuck you, 'cause you're 40, and you still live with your mom, Dennis.
Light laughter sounds off in the room, but it feels nervous.
So this is why Shanky doesn't like her. Useful for you. It makes him advocate against Ruby.
Yeah. 5 experience points for giving Shanky a boost to his self-esteem. Maybe he's still got it. He'll feel better until the next time he makes advances on a woman. Classy said that Ruby made advances on her and that she shot him down.
Ruby then threatened her and told her to end her relationship with the deceased.
Kind of sounds like a motive, eh?
This is some sordid shit.
Big man
Sounds
rubs
like
his
the kind of
chin.
Garbage our Miss Aronier puts out to cover her own ass.
She just told us. Ruby made her scared. She spilled the beans.
That Ruby is queer as cabaret. Now that I start thinking about it, I don't know why I didn't see it earlier.
He looks out the window pensively. Gentlemen, I just want to stress again that the lesbian thing is only relevant insofar as it establishes the potential motive.
And that's okay. Some are queerer
Okay.
than others.
Yes. All right.
You
I
can
knew you
still
were all
be
right, Titus.
hardy.
Glances at Glenn.
If you bring your own personal shit into our outfit,
Do you hear the subtext here, Glenn?
And then, boss,
He shakes his
use
head.
us to cover it up? I mean, that's just fucked up.
British! Welcome! Happy Sunday. Hope the weekend is treating you well.
If it's true. But it's not, right?
I don't think either of these options are good. I don't buy them as explanations, and I don't want to piss Titus off. So, come on, Titus. You got to see how, things don't add up here. We need to talk to Ruby. Not necessarily to prove she did it. But if we can't prove she didn't...
Silence. He looks around the room. The old man in the corner.
If you haven't learned by
nods.
now, I think you'll be okay.
A very small nod, and a trickle of tobacco spit on his lip. This is the only option he cares for.
Misreading by the narrator, opinion, and that's important. Specifically, the idea here is that Titus doesn't respect anybody in his crew except for Theo.
Yeah, I see it.
Puts his beard
There's
down.
one more thing I've been wondering about ever since you asked me where she is. Add it to your list of suspicions, if you want.
Oh, I'd be happy to.
I don't know.
He smiles a
I
peculiar
don't
smile.
know where she went. She just got up and left. Got real scared, too. Wouldn't tell me where. However hard I asked. Want to know why?
Why?
She was afraid I would tell you.
He looks you
Maybe
straight in
she's
the eye.
right. By now, I probably would.
It seems like it since you're telling me this.
She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior, why fleeing is always incriminatory.
Never run.
Perhaps.
Cha-ching.
Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that.
Oh, the algorithms. I'll say this. Amazon has never made me a you might like this product suggestion that wasn't just, hey, do you want to buy this thing that you just bought again? Yes, sure, yeah. I need a second copy of the Smokey Robinson album, Gasms. Not entirely sure I needed one copy of that when I ordered it last year. Well, when did she leave?
Friday afternoon, when you first arrived. I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came in to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation.
And what do you think she was afraid of?
I told you. You.
So, like, the RCM.
No, you. As in the cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes.
Oh, because of that I'm gonna kill myself thing?
And a hole in his heart. That first.
Dun dun dun. Hey, don't forget the funny tie when you describe me.
How can I forget?
He nods at your tie.
You and I are going to dance in the moonlight under 1 billion stars.
You know, when I first saw you limping here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply. But
He measures you
now
up.
I'm not so sure.
Honestly, I have that effect on a lot of people who spend a little bit of time around me. They start out disgusted because of my whole thing. Then, bit by bit, I start to reveal unsuspected competence. Did Ruby tell you anything else about me?
She said you have a funny taste in clothes.
He
And
scoffs.
that you won't stop.
Won't stop disco dancing?
Until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jamrock. That you're a human can opener. That you play suspects against each other. Open them up. Like can.
Ah, so that's why I'm the human can opener. It's just a thing. It's the Rumple detective thing. I got a feeling for people. I know when to ask that one last question.
Fucking hell.
Tattooed man
Titus,
shakes his
did he
head.
just...
Can open you? Yes, Elaine. I opened you like a fucking can, you and all your friends.
Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did.
It's like taking cans
Now,
from a baby.
You can whine about it. Whack him. Or we can go on with our lives. I'm having a go on with our lives kind of day, Al. How about you?
It's not an actual question.
Yeah.
Silence. He nods.
Anything else? Like anything at all?
Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This called Titus. This called Pete. But she was too scared.
Huh.
Everard has a file on you, but that's bogus. What she knows comes from somewhere else. from Jamrock. It must be real stuff.
So, I have a reputation that precedes me that doesn't even have anything to do with my public suicide threats. Do you know, like, anything, Titus, that you could tell me about where Ruby might have gone?
She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her lorry, so she's on foot.
Wonder if she went down the coast.
Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her.
Don't be so cocky, Elaine. There's a time when you thought that you weren't going to share any information with me.
Yeah, Al. And
He gives a sharp look.
She's not really,
Man stares
party
into his
candidate
beer.
anymore, is she?
I don't know, Glenn. You tell me.
She's not, Glenn.
You look for it all yourself?
A little. On the coast.
Where have you looked for her, more precisely?
Kim asked a good question.
More precisely, on the coast, past the waterlogged.
He nods
She's
southwest.
not here, so I'm thinking she's there.
Can you tell me where on the coast I should start looking?
Sure, there's some shit houses there. A cinder block town. The fisherfolk there refuse to unionize, so that's one place we haven't looked.
Really? Because you could distribute some literature while you're down there. Kill two birds with one stone.
I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up.
Yeah, I do have an affinity for junkies.
We will start there.
Lieutenant takes
One
a
more
quick note.
question. What does Ruby look like?
Oh, hey, great question, Kim.
Boyish. Hair's red. Dyed. She looks like a lorry man.
Well, it's not much, but it'll do. Especially because if we go up and talk to her, it'll just say her name next to her dialogue.
Have to.
Puts his hand out. Yeah, I'll shake it. I feel like we've got a real rapport here.
His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite.
Harry Dubois does the thing where he kind of just moves his thumb down after the grip. Total opposite of the reassuring Titus Hardy handshake.
Not
Keep
just
him off
granite,
balance.
Tightly packed RCM sergeant material.
You ever think about becoming a cop, Titus?
When are you gonna get it through your dumb head?
He scoffs.
I already am. I just wasn't sure you were.
And he still isn't. People aren't afraid of good cops in the way Ruby was afraid of you, he thinks, then turns back to his men.
But hey, it's a new dawn. It's a new day. Maybe I'm not such a bad guy anymore. Maybe. Hopefully down on the coast we can whip up some
You
change.
think you have a pretty hot suspect right now, don't you? That Ruby of yours?
Yeah? So? And?
Notice how it came together without casting too much suspicion on Clasia. It was nice and Ruby-centric in the end.
All right, voice in my head. Just spell it out. What are you saying?
Anything strike you a bit off about this mishmash?
I mean, so far no one's actually said they heard the shot.
Notice how this hasn't come up at all. Even Hardy and his boys didn't mention it. Neither did you.
Maybe you could have pointed it out to me before I had the conversation. I would have brought it up to them. But one reason they might not have heard the shot is if it came from down the coast.
Absolutely. It could have come from anywhere, but you're suddenly so certain it came from the roof behind the window.
Am I that certain? I'm done thinking about this. Just knock it off. Nothing's certain yet.
That's right. Finish thought.
Hey.
Just finish it.
No, you're supposed to obey the things in the square brackets.
She's watching you leave right now. You know that. Free as a bird on that roof. Lighting up a cigarette and thinking, am I glad Ruby's in this shit and not me?
Oh, knock it off. What's she gonna do? She gonna run?
Don't listen to this guy. The theory was solid. He's just jealous. Move on. It's no use harassing her further.
Oh, this feels like a fork in the road. I think we need to know more, though. I think we gotta go down the coast. And for that matter, we've been telling Lena we'll see if we can track down her husband, the cryptozoologist. Zoom out a bit, I guess.
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this.
That would be a
control
beautiful way to have all the
Loose
threads
wires
tied
down
together
from the
into a
now
wonderful
vacant
tapestry.
holes. In the middle is a lever. Beneath it, a small metal plaque.
Well, let's operate on the assumption that the lever activates the water gate, the water lock.
Grab the handle and pull the lever up.
Secret
As
task
soon
complete.
As the metal connects against the contact pins, you hear a loud clunk. Then, the water lock starts moving.
Oh, it's so slow. Wish I had a cigarette. No. I take that back. Don't need a cigarette. I can just be alone with my thoughts while the water lock closes.
All right, we can go to the coast now. Expect rugged terrain and drunks.
I'm more prepared for the drunks, Kim. You've seen my shoes. And got a sense of my personal habits. The radio relay hums with electricity. Let's not touch it. Okay. Before we go down the coast, is there anything else to be looking at up here? Even if it's just the opportunity to scavenge a few real. Sign says no entry. Someone scribbled on it. Traffic behind the gate. More abandoned motor lorries. Now this thing's just locked. Oh, oops, sorry, Kim. Did not mean to double click and force you to run, my friend. I remember your preference for not running for no reason. You'd think I would share that preference given my shoes. Breaker box to power the radio pylon above you. Maybe there's something inside? Hell yeah, 90 cents. Ahead, decades-old concrete defenses. Children play on them now. There's some kind of angsty metaphor to that. Some symbolism. Creaking ahead. You can hear a broken axle grinding. What's this? Hey, banged up fuel canister. Maybe we can pawn this.
A banged up motor carriage lies half submerged in the icy water, slowly sinking into the Insulindian Ocean. Only the cabin top, rear wheels, and the engine remain visible.
Ah.
It must be cold and lonely down there, in the icy water.
Cold and lonely and dead, I would think.
Remember the tire tracks in Martinez? This is where they were leading.
Kim, this is where the tire tracks on the plaza were leading to.
It appears to be so.
The lieutenant has a peculiar look in his eyes as he inspects the wreckage. Let's investigate.
I agree. We should definitely investigate.
His eyes never come off the sunken vehicle while he speaks.
You get a sudden sinking feeling. Stomach acid comes up as you look at the motor carriage in the deep, dark, cold water.
I don't like this. Something.
Why the doom and gloom? It's just a sunken motor carriage. Some motor carriages are bound to end up in the sea.
Well, let's touch it.
The motor carriage is properly stuck in the ice. Getting it out would require...
Can't help but notice how
specialists.
similar this looks to Kim's vehicle. What's the make?
The logo is too deep in the murky water. You can't make it out, but you do see a monkfish float by.
Hey, a monkfish. How long's it been down here?
The ice hasn't closed around the vehicle yet. My guess is...
Leans
it's been
forward,
here since
peeking
last
into cold
Saturday or
water.
Sunday.
Ah, jeez. Well, looks like Jacob IRW's journey came to an abrupt end here.
Your mocking tone finds no response, but the motion of the waves.
Anyway, enough gloating. This is
Yes, quite.
seems to be inspecting me more closely than the motor carriage. Oh dear. What do you think we should do?
Let's wait for the low tide and see what's inside.
Great idea. Then we can get the things inside. The joyrider must have left something good inside. Guns, papers, maybe a cool jacket.
So the suspicion here, of course, is that I did this.
A joyrider jacket. You feel a strange connection to this joyrider.
So maybe we'll find my
he's from
badge.
Some kind of joyriders district and likes blue and white racing livery, like a cop would.
I confess, Lieutenant, I haven't been studying the local tide charts. When do you think we're going to see low
I
tide?
don't know. An hour or two, tops?
Great. Well, I guess we're going to sit on the swing and wait. I hope it only takes 1 hour.
As you sit down in the old, rusty playground, the
Oh,
world around
only
you
like 15 minutes
becomes
so
very
far.
silent. The hinges creak under your weight, dangerously so.
Want to trade swings, Lieutenant?
Nothing but the sound of seagulls high above in the sky, echoing like distant laughter. Ice cracks around the blue motor carriage in the sea.
I'm going to whistle a tune.
The tune on your lips forms a strange yet undeniably beautiful contrast with the surrounding bleakness.
This is quite a scene, Lieutenant. This is one of those serious cop dramas.
The lieutenant gives you a quick glance, then, still looking straight ahead, he joins you with a higher pitched and slightly more melodic trill. The clouds pass in the sky, and the shadow of the swing moves like the hour hand on a timepiece. 30 minutes have passed. Looks like this might take a while. Time to present a good topic for discussion.
Ooh, I don't like that. Yeah. Well, the tide sure is taking its sweet time.
I believe it's following a pattern set millions of years ago by cosmic forces. But I suppose it could move quicker, yeah?
Yeah, I was using a figure of speech, Lieutenant.
Clouds on the horizon grow darker, and the shadow of
man,
the
we're
swing
wasting
set
daylight.
keeps climbing. You hear the distant rumble of the city. 30 minutes pass.
Okay. Kim, if it comes down to it, would you side with the strikers or the shipping company here?
Luckily, I am already a member of an independent organization, and therefore do not have to choose between a rock and a hard place.
But like, gun to your head.
Your voice echoes on the water, strange and out of place in the environment. 30 more minutes pass.
Ah, jeez. Is that a number on the side?
Yes, 41. What do you think it stands for?
Does he know something about the driver of this vehicle?
I think he does. Oh, God. Gonna have to apologize to someone for this.
I'm sorry, Harry. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry, Lieutenant.
41. Precinct 41. A massive pit opens up in your stomach, and the most terrible feeling comes over you.
Okay. I sure hope there's no drowned person in here.
No. Just nope. Say no to this, Harry.
Oh, God. I start shouting. I'm not going to shout into the microphone. But it's mine. I drove my car into the goddamn sea.
I'm afraid so, yes. It looks like you started in front of the Whirling, jumped over the canal, and then drove your vehicle in the sea right here.
Badge, the gun, and now this.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and doesn't say anything. There is also a fourth thing you've lost.
A fourth thing?
More precious than the gun, the badge, and the motor carriage combined. Lost forever into the deepest of seas.
I think I'm shrinking from this conversation. Well, silver lining, I guess. We can find out what's in there. Maybe my badge is in there.
Yes. Let's go take a look.
Well, we found the traffic hooligan. Hey, hey, hey. And my jacket. Commander's jacket. Jeez. Why would they promote this guy to commander? It's not as cool as my disco blazer, but it's better. I'm going to stick with cool for now. And if it comes to it, that I need ability. But let's look at my badge.
A police badge on which you see the photo of a man. You. Some seaweed is stuck to the back.
Hey. Silver linings, Lieutenant. I found my badge.
At least something good came out of all this.
Lieutenant glances at the badge in your hands. Yeah.
Encased between two durable plastic sheets is a bluish card with lines of information and a watermark in the shape of the street grid of Revachol West.
There's something interesting to me. Oh my goodness. What a convoluted name you have. Ingratiating Crunch. Oh, whoops. Put a space in your name. All right, enjoy the cornfield.
You see a photo, a name, a rank, a document number, the date of issue, and in the lower right corner, your precinct.
Well, look at the photo.
The man keeps winking at you with his green-gray eyes. The photo is old, no doubt about that. But the badge is new. You used an old photo for a new badge.
Who wants to look at the new me?
Good choice. A newer photo would look different.
How old is this photo?
8, maybe 10 years. The guy in the picture is rather good looking. He's got a nice haircut and is distinctly lacking in massive sideburns.
Did he not have his disco style yet? What's he winking about?
What do you think? His face is already contorted by the expression, although it looks less grotesque on him than it does on you now.
Well, I mean, I've had 10 years to work on
The
that.
badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information on it.
So
and a shining watermark.
I would have sworn my name was going to be Henry, but I'm Harrier Dubois.
Harrier. That's long for Harry.
Harrier.
So you are Harry.
He thinks.
Hart was half right. Probably not a lot of people know your full name. Whoever told him you're Harry Dubois didn't.
Harry Dubois it is.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Harrier Dubois.
Wish it could be under better circumstances, Lieutenant.
He's not going to call you Harrier. He'll keep calling you officer when he's angry with you, and detective when he's not. The badge in your hands shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information.
Huh. Says here I'm the rank of LTN, which I assume is Lieutenant, 2 Jafar.
Lieutenant W. Freighter.
W. Freighter. And is that good?
The lieutenant is a rank above sergeant and below captain. It's the highest rank in the RCM that still does field work. I am a lieutenant.
Hey, we're twins. The W. Freighter?
The title of Yefreighter is added to your rank when you decline a promotion to a higher rank. In your case, captain.
He explains.
You have declined twice, thus you're W. Freighter.
Declined?
There are many reasons one would do this. The rank above you in your precinct's décomptage might be taken, or sometimes promoted officers do not want to replace their superiors out of respect.
Or maybe I just like field work. It gives me more opportunities to shove my gun in my mouth and upset the locals.
And sometimes they just prefer the type of police work available to their current rank. In your case, lieutenant.
Heavy-duty case-solving machine.
Yeah, sorry. What's a décomptage?
Décomptage is the hierarchical system employed by the Ravachol citizens' militia. It means counting down to twos.
Right.
The countdown is modeled after the dual leadership system employed by the left during the revolution, which in turn was developed by last century experimental psychologists in the University of Königstein.
The lowest rank is junior officer, usually teenagers. Then there are the patrol officers, then sergeants, lieutenants, then a captain. That's basically it, except for a few kinks.
And what are the kinks, Lieutenant?
Kinks like satellite officers and the additionally a freighter rank I already explained.
Right-o.
The long and short of it is, you're his superior.
We don't need to get all worked up in that. Okay. So, Satellite officers?
You are given the title of satellite officer if your partner is quickly promoted through the ranks and you rise with him. You don't seem to be a satellite.
Well, that's nice. I'm not going to either rub my superior rank or make myself look stupid by pretending we're the same rank. So yeah, thanks for explaining all this, Lieutenant.
My pleasure.
Thought my rank was drunk.
Yes, apparently you've had a rather successful career in the past, and
The boss is to examine
maybe
you.
your current situation is only temporary.
Thanks, Lieutenant. That means a lot.
Good.
He says with a quick smile. If there's some twist, I can't imagine what it could be. This is too well written, I think, to have a stupid twist where Lieutenant Kim turns out to be bad. Because I really like this Lieutenant Kim. He's a good person. Let's look at my badge some more.
Yet precious thing.
Hey.
Expensive paper caught between thick plastic, like a fly.
My
in
serial
amber.
number.
It reads
Rev 12. Revishal, I assume. 126205 Jamrock 41.
That's just the serial number. Revachol, Jamrock, Precinct 41, with some numbers thrown in there for good measure.
No, just thrown in. No, it's not. It's not. Quite frankly, if the game was going to pull a like, haha, it was me all along or some bullshit at the end, I would insist that everybody spoiled me before I even played the game.
the numbers are not there for good measure. They have an administrative purpose, one that's unfortunately been erased from your memory.
All right. And it looks like I've been at this since the 7th of November back in 50.
4 months ago.
Oh.
I'm guessing that's when you were promoted to the rank of Lieutenant W. Freighter.
So when I opted not to get promoted.
A new badge usually comes with a new rank. You seem to have been doing well then.
For a given value of well.
You're pretty sure you weren't doing well, but better? Probably yes.
I don't know. Had I ever had a 42-hour sober streak going?
A lot can happen in 4 months, especially in winter. The winters are never easy on you. Of that you are sure.
Well, the winter's easy on anyone.
I remember that time.
I'm ready for this winter to be
That was
over.
a good time. We had a good work-drink balance going. What happened, man? Pump it up!
Knock it off, necktie. We're not doing it. Maybe I'll soak you in alcohol later. Precinct 41.
Yes, it's the designation of your precinct. 41. Like mine says 57. The 57th is mostly industrial harbor. A lot of asphalt. The 41st is...
He stops. 41st is what?
It's a tough station to work in. You have all of Jamrock to cover. That district should have 3 precincts, but money is what it is.
And now here I am in Revishal.
It's no wonder you are like you are, he thinks. But then again...
It's not like everyone in my precinct is like
But then
this.
again, it's a legendary district, and a hell of a station too. It must be an honor and a curse to work with people like Price, McCoy, Berdiaeva.
Oh, you want to talk about an honor and a curse? Imagine you worked with Harriet Dubois.
Roberts, Feuerbach, Dimitri. Suddenly, names from your decomptage flash in your forebrain. And you? Is it an honor to work with you? Don't ask him, ask yourself. The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information on it, and a shining watermark.
I think I've had enough staring at this, Lieutenant. Boom. Well, hopefully we haven't wasted too much daylight. It checked off my find your badge, right? Ah, report the badge missing. Track down your badge. I've done it. Wednesday at 3:30. We're doing real well. 3 skill points to spend if we have checks we need to replay. Footprints in the snow. They lead away from the accident. Oh ho. What could be going on here? I wonder. There's a boat tucked away under the tarpaulin cover. Take a look here. Through the broken glass, dusty shelves, forgotten chair. Kind of surprised that the game gave me no option except to, hey, postcard. Cold breeze is enough to make the wall planks creak. Gave me no option except to just sit there. Dark red chair in the dim light of the room. Make a note of that chair, Lieutenant Kim. It might be important. We can at least cancel its forgotten status. As long as we remember it, it is not a forgotten chair. Well, whatever that was, it resolved just as I was clicking on it. Lost the opportunity. Cinder blocks, makeshift fire pit. Oh hey, here's some locals. Bushes are too thick and thorny to pass through. Ah. Okay, well, we'll talk to them when we get to that side. Here's Allez-vous, hein? Oh, man. Okay, no. Don't need to go look in that window. Let's look in this window. White curtains have been drawn shut. There's no looking in. Okay, let's go look in this thing. See if I can scrounge up some more board money. I only need a couple real and we can sleep another night with a roof over my head. Hey, free pants. Dust-covered linens. Dry tulips on a bed. Actually, no. Let's not go down to the shore right now. Let's go deeper into the fishing village. Maybe here's where we'll find our would-be forger. Quick travel is unlocked. I don't know that I'm going to use fast travel in this game. It doesn't feel right. When I first played my first playthrough, or I guess my only playthrough of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, I didn't fast travel at all until the end when I was just mopping up shrines before I went to fight Ganon. Woman next to a bucket of clothes hums an odd melody. Her eyes are closed.
You're not sure about the melody, but it might be South Samaran, possibly Sigayan, also known as the Apricot Suzerainty.
Welcome to the fishing village.
She opens her eyes.
Please lean in closer. I have cataracts.
I'll lean forward.
Oh.
A shadow passes
welcome,
over her
Miss
face.
Officer. We don't cause any trouble around here. And we don't want any trouble either.
I'm not looking to cause any trouble, ma'am.
We are not here to cause any trouble, madame.
Yes. See? Now you've heard it twice.
Trouble? Say the second thing, Bratan. Shows you got style.
No. It's like you said. We're cops. We resolve trouble. We don't cause it.
Of course. Last time we saw you around here was 12 years ago. You also came to take care of trouble then. Wish you did. But still, in Martinez, you're considered an ill omen.
What kind of ill omen are we talking about?
The usual. Dark tidings. Black hound.
That's you, all right. A black hound licking your own heels.
Nah. Well, I mean, if I'm such an ill omen, it's kind of odd. No one else has told me that.
Maybe they are afraid.
You know, I've heard that. Why would someone be afraid of me, Ruby?
Because you're an ill omen. But you're
Touché.
still welcome here. As long as men with guns aren't chasing you. And maybe even then. Because that's the kind of fishing village we've built.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
You don't
sorry
say.
there's not
How
a
am I
lot
for
of
time?
room to
Doing
park
great.
the motor carriage. And not a lot of houses. Or a lot of people. My kids are long gone. Searching for treasure. So are others.
No, I actually found a pretty solid parking spot for my motor carriage.
Ah, look at me ramble on.
She waves her hand.
What brings you to us?
Well, I guess getting right down to business, ma'am. Have you seen a red-haired woman named Ruby?
Nay, I haven't seen anyone lately.
Touché, ma'am. Do you know the person I'm talking about, though?
This is my little cinder block town.
She nods with a
I know
wrinkled
what
smile.
goes on around here.
Right. Kind of seems like you're dodging the question.
She's being evasive. She knows something.
Yeah, that's right. That was an easy check.
There was a murder in Martinez.
He points east.
She might be a suspect. We would appreciate your help.
We don't want anyone else to get hurt, ma'am.
Would you now?
She turns
I
to
know how
him.
this world works, and it doesn't work when people tell on each other.
I know you know something, ma'am. And we'd like to help if we can.
Aye, that you are, Dark Omen. Help yourselves and your organization. Help the storm clouds gather on the horizon.
She shakes her head. Okay. Well, we'll be back later if we find anything suspicious.
I'm not going anywhere. Perhaps there's something else the village can do for you, huh? Though we don't have much here. Just garbage and a skiff or two.
Well, I mean, what all's in this fishing village?
Just us.
She sounds
It's
tired.
barely a village anymore. We almost don't exist.
How do you mean?
This is pretty much a non-place.
She grins.
A gap.
A liminal
A blank
space.
spot on the map. Just a cluster of nameless shacks on a nameless street.
Well, who else lives here?
Well, there's Lillian and her kids. A few new folks live in the house to the east. But they're away
She
right
nods her
now.
head across the courtyard. Away.
And then there's the drunks.
She sighs.
Not a pretty sight, but there's little we can do about it. Home is home, even for them.
What drunks do you mean?
Sooner or later, you'll see for yourself.
She slowly shakes her
Don't
head.
have to look long to find these guys.
All right. You sure there's not anything around here? Just no interesting sights?
Over there, you can find more of the same. Shacks and trees growing wild. That's the pox.
The box?
An old military hospital and its surroundings.
She looks towards
Or
the
it
buildings
used
to the
be,
south.
During the time of the suzerain.
Ah, yes.
After the war,
The
it was
apricot
turned into a
suzerain.
goodwill hospital for shell-shock veterans and folks looking for some quiet in the old sanatorium gardens. Now the area is crisscrossed with nameless streets and makeshift cinder block houses, shacks as far as the eye can see.
What happened to the hospital?
The goodwill ran out.
She tightens the
staff
scarf around
left,
her neck.
And the place was shut down. It's long gone by now.
All right. Well, thanks for telling me about your
She
town.
nods, rinsing another piece of cloth.
What's further on the coast there?
Not much. There's the abandoned church, the DeLorean Church of Humanity. It's been there since before my time, even.
How'd it come to be abandoned?
Some things just don't fly, officer.
She smiles a gap-toothed
Look
smile,
around.
smells the air.
Who'd go to church here? They built it 300 years ago. Must have been nicer then.
I'm not a religious man myself, man, but I've heard some people actually find comfort from their difficult circumstances.
So, they don't hold services there anymore? The Ecclesiastes?
I think that was pretty clearly implied, Lieutenant.
No, we've tried, but things just keep happening. Crime, accidents, other things. The place never stays open.
She frowns.
It's a pity. It used to be such a nice church.
Yeah.
She's not telling you all she knows. Keep her talking.
Oh, yeah, so, I mean, what else is down on the coast?
Before you get to the church, there's some ruins, an apartment complex, or some kind of electrical plant. Run-down bunch
Okay.
of houses.
But you're not
And
actually confused about that. Is it apartments? Is it an electrical plant?
I don't know exactly. A pre-war place. It used to be something.
She shrugs.
Before the war. I wasn't here then, you know. Was born in Samara. Of note, the old fish market up on the boardwalk. But it's closed.
And that's it? Yeah, there's got to be something along the coast.
What? You're one of those real estate people with big plans? If you want a development opportunity, you can check out the abandoned building over at Land's End.
Okay.
Used to be a supply depot, we think, sending goods and ammo across the bay. It's jam shut though.
I got a
We
pry bar,
tried
I think.
to get in, see
If I
if there
remember
was
correctly.
anything to sell or scavenge, but it's impossible.
Righto.
And now you know everything there is to know about this coast.
She drops a bar of soap into the bucket with a splash. Well, if you don't mind, not to pry, but Who are you, washerwoman? What?
Me? No one. Just an old washerwoman. Mother called me Isabel, if that's what you're asking.
Yes.
And my married name is Sadie.
Isabel Saidi.
Now it's your turn, Mr.
Lieutenant W. Freighter Harrier Dubois.
Quite a handle you got there.
The woman nods with evident
So
respect.
many titles. One of them double.
And get this, the double thing is for turning down other titles.
She's got a couple of ranks herself. Honored chief and so on.
No, I don't want to get her signature. I want to get someone to forge it. Okay, I'm off for now, ma'am. Let's see, are these kids less shitty than the other kids we know?
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone. He can't be more than 5 years old. The other one looks indistinguishable from him. He watches his brother kick the stone with his tongue lolling out of his mouth.
Hey kids, you seen any bad guys? Or folks, I guess? Gender neutral?
What bad people?
Well, the twins looks up. His mouth slightly open.
I don't think questioning 4-year-olds without their parents present is gonna crack the case.
Then we're definitely doing it.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, you guys, where's your mom?
The kids don't reply, absorbed in their little game.
I can't help but notice the two of you look almost exactly the same.
The stone-kicking one becomes frantic all of a sudden, as if that's something to be scared of. The obvious fact that you just stated.
He looks just like me.
Yeah, I said that.
The boy doesn't answer. His brother throws another rock. Both of their hair is covered in some kind of dirt. The rock kicker was just being shy, but now he's enthusiastic again.
You're bad with kids.
The lieutenant remarks with evident glee. Yeah. It's probably a sign how well I got on with Kuno that I wouldn't be any good with like proper kids.
Don't worry, everyone is.
He looks a
All
little
but because
scruffy into
somebody's
you.
work now. We're not getting anything here.
That's fair. Hey, you take care, kids. Play safe. Play nice. Be good to each other. Street signs illegible. Illegible below the graffito. Singular. It's hard to see the details, but the colors are warm and welcoming. Cozy. Flower trough where nothing really grows. Maybe some grows in spring. Excuse me, man. Sorry for
Hello,
letting ourselves in.
mister.
A young girl, barely 4 or 5 years old, sits on the sofa. She's looking at you with frank curiosity.
She clutches a small stuffed animal. Occasionally, she twirls it around.
Hey, where are your parents?
My mom's outside, and I don't really know about my dad.
She gives you a bright smile like it's a good thing. You kind of look like the twins outside. They're your brothers?
Yes. They don't want to play with me. They're older and play outside. They look the same. Sometimes I can't tell them apart.
Yeah, they look like they're identical, right? I mean, that's what I was saying. Lil Kim, Lieutenant Kim. That's what I was saying, right?
They look identical.
She processes the word and snickers with laughter. Hey, what's that hanging from the ceiling? Stuffed bird.
It's a grouse.
She yelps, smiling broadly.
You might be able to get on Gart's good side if you replace the broken skewer you almost certainly broke.
This is strange. Maybe we can make a trade, but do you think I can have that? I know someone who really likes stuffed birds.
Sure, just go and get it. I don't like it anyway. It looks angry.
And what's that thing you're holding?
It's Lammy. He's my friend.
Hey,
Sort of.
my
Like-
oldest nephew, his most beloved stuffed animal is a sheep, is a little lamb puppet that he calls Lammy.
Lambie is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly, has seen better days. One of the eye buttons is missing, and the fur is tattered in several parts.
We're not going to comment on that. Oh, okay. Hey, nice to meet you, Lammy.
Lammy usually doesn't like strangers. But you're also fuzzy, like Lammy.
Kind of soft, too, at least in the middle. All right, little police work. Do you know anyone named Ruby?
Ruby. Ruby.
Suddenly, she gets all serious and leans in like she's about to tell you a secret.
My mom tells me I'm a big girl, but she doesn't know that I can't say Earl. Or like, sometimes I can, but then Uller.
Kids.
Lieutenant shakes his head. It's all good. We're not going to bother about these armored gloves. Oh, you know what? I guess they are evidence. Someone told me that there's a little girl down here who has armored gloves. Is that you, little Lily?
Oh.
She looks alarmed.
I had gloves. Very big ones. Heavy, too.
Past tense?
Where did you get these gloves?
Found them when Lemmy and I were playing hide and seek. In an empty house. Where no one lives. I think someone hid them there.
It's a reasonable suspicion.
She doesn't want you to think she stole them.
You know where they are now?
I hid them. The twins were gonna take them. They're stupid.
She lifts Lambie up and looks into its one remaining eye, as though searching for confirmation.
We're going to need those gloves. It's for important police business.
He enunciates the last two words carefully.
Oh.
She doesn't seem to understand. But the tone, the clear enunciation, got across the important part.
They're in my sandcastle. Behind
She
our
points
house.
somewhere outside.
Under the sand. You can break the castle. It's not very good.
Well, hey, thanks, Lily. You've been a great help.
Bye!
The girl's large, curious eyes remain fixed on you. Now, I hope your mom won't mind if I stand on the sofa to get the taxidermy item. The fact that it is a pawnable item does reveal I think on its own is enough to say these items aren't necessarily just for pawning. They might have purposes. Which is not to say that I won't wind up pawning all of them at the end if I can get enough money to buy Lieutenant Kim back his caps, his hubcaps, his rims. Okay. Getting to know the locals. We're investigating. Oh, here they are. Here's these guys we saw. Whoop.
You stop mid-step and put your hand on the garish necktie.
Hey, necktie.
That bottle, Bratan! Just look at that bottle!
No. I don't care about any bottle. I don't want to look at it.
You should care. I'm getting a very special vibe from that bottle. Please go talk to him. I need to look at it closer.
No. Excuse me, sir. Grumbles an unshaven man with a ruddy nose. He narrows his eyes at you as if in recognition, and then turns his head away.
The noxious odor emanating from the drunken man is strong and familiar.
Don't you call her? Yeah! Don't call Abigail.
Who's Abigail?
Uh-huh. Abigail. Don't you fucking call Abigail.
I don't know how much we're getting out of this fella.
Abigail is his wife or girlfriend. Chances are she's gone. Calling her wouldn't make it any better or worse.
Hey, you seen any women around here? Abigail or otherwise?
Abigail, where are you?
I don't think we're getting anything out of this guy, but who are you, buddy? What's your name? You got a name? Where am I? What is this place?
The man hiccups, then mumbles something unintelligible.
Hey, can you tell me what your buddies?
Don't you fucking call her! Hear me!
His voice trembles with every word, becoming even weaker. He whimpers Abigail's name at the end. All right. We're not. Don't want her to see you like this, man. Excuse me.
Hey, tequila!
30-something man, clad in a two-piece lycra tracksuit, puts down his pilsner, extends his hand in greeting.
Good to see you. How's business? How's the whole reality situation treating you?
Oh, you know, it is what it is. Shake his hand.
So what's happening?
He picks up his beer. Wait, hold on. Were you calling me tequila?
Yeah, tequila sunset.
He takes a sip.
How are the high-concept, reality-based adventures proceeding?
Been a lot more in reality the last couple of days.
These people know your true name. Looks like it has preceded you, Mr. Sunset. More on that later.
Maybe I can use this with Call Me Mañana.
I like this guy. You should too. He respects you by calling you your true name.
Wait, so what did he say? Oh yeah, how am I going? Reality? I don't know. Keep hearing I'm a cop. Getting used to that.
It's good to hear that you're on top of things. Talking about used to, did you know that I used to be a real mover and shaker?
He thoughtfully picks at his shit-stained liquor jacket.
Sadly,
gross.
things aren't going that well in Idiot Doom Spiral Land. Haven't found those keys yet, haven't won that great piece of ass back. No word from my business buddies.
He sips his beer. It started to snow.
This guy's your buddy. You feel it immediately. You belong to an organization, a fraternity of drunks.
Hey, you seen a red-haired woman named Ruby around here lately?
Can't really remember seeing any women after losing my keys.
It's a touchy topic. He hasn't got laid in ages. He really has no idea who this Ruby is, sire.
What do you guys do around here? Kinda, this is it?
We are saving the world.
He looks at his comrades.
Please don't go. Don't go.
Begs the man in the pipe.
Okay, we're drinking. We're drinking alcohol. That's what we're doing. I tried
Hey, no judgment.
to save the world once, a long time ago, with enterprise, creativity, and willpower. But that didn't work out. So now, it's a pirate's life for me.
Yeah. Hey, check it out. You guys into forging your signature? Or not even forging, but just like fraudulently signing away other people's property?
What's it about?
He waves his hand apathetically.
I'll let my hand address the situation. Maybe you've heard. I used to be a very successful businessman. I've signed more than a few lease forms or whatever the fuck they were.
He looks around.
Anyone's got a pen? The pro's gonna do it.
Yeah, I got the green ape one here.
All right.
He grabs the pen and carefully scribbles on the dotted line next to Lillian's signature, Idiot Doom Spiral. What? I didn't get Lillian to sign it, did I? I think there's something messed up in the sequencing here. I need at least 2 signatures on the document.
Hey, Abs.
He shouts to the mumbling drunkard next to him.
Abs.
Don't you? You call Abigail?
Careful, it almost sounds like you're asking people to call
I
Abigail.
need you to sign this document right here.
He waves the pen and paper in the man's face.
Don't call her.
His trembling hand catches the paperwork. He lays it on his knee, starts writing slowly. It's almost illegible due to his shaky hands.
Don't call Abigail.
His friend grabs the document and admires it.
Great job, Abs. Nailed it.
Could I get my pen back?
Don't know if I've mentioned it, but I used to be a businessman. And as a businessman, I'm going to keep the pen. For my trouble.
Well, I guess that's it then.
Glad to have been of assistance.
Gives you a thumbs up.
After all this time, I feel like I've made a difference.
Feels like a 1,000 fucking real, man. Doing good.
Don't call Abigail.
He snorts, takes a swig from the bottle. But it's empty.
Thank you for your services, gentlemen. Should we go and mail these? I think I saw a mailbox on the plaza.
Mailbox in the plaza, you got it. Now, hopefully, those guys aren't actually property owners. Yep. It crossed off the... It didn't revert to getting the real signatures. I haven't accidentally screwed these guys. Oh, right. I should have gone to that sandcastle. I've got a stuffed bird for Garte and enough money to pay... Almost enough money to pay to stay there again tonight. It's all very good. I am going to run to the washroom. So we'll take a brief intermission here, gang. I'll be right back with you. And we're back. Yeah, it might not be a bad trade, Rigadeth. I've heard some say that the pen is mightier than the sword. I'm not sure if that applies to the gun as well. Oh, let's talk to this fellow whose name seemed to be Rosemary.
Good to see you, friend. Do I have deals set up for you, buddy boy?
Yeah, good to see you too, friend.
So what do you want?
He tilts
I've
his
got
head.
smokes.
No.
They're cheap.
Nope.
Very cheap. I got Pilsner.
Nope.
Great deal. You won't get a better deal on that piss.
Nope.
Spirits I can let go for 300 real.
No.
I also have speed. And by speed, I mean amphetamine.
I don't know if I should be here.
See? There it is, Bratushka.
Shut up, necktie.
The spirit. Let's buy the spirit.
The necktie is trying to strangle me. If I had 300 real, I'd be buying back the lieutenant's caps. What if I don't even want to listen to this necktie?
Snap out of it, Bratan. This is no time for melancholy introspection. It's time to buy that spirit.
I'm not even really listening to the necktie. It's just a stupid drunk idea.
Bratan, you don't understand. It's not just another drink. This is what our relationship has been building towards all these years. This is the climax, the mystery, the virginal sigh.
This is a toxic codependent relationship, necktie.
You have to buy it from him. Get it off him. Kill him if you have to.
Nope. I'm certainly not doing that.
On it, and the fate of many worlds.
You are not walking the line.
The lieutenant looks at you, looking at the bottle of spirits, then at Rosemary, suspiciously.
Well, let's leave.
In a civilized world, it's a custom to tip the shopkeep, friend. But come back anyway.
Yeah, I didn't buy anything though, Rosemary. So why would I tip you? Let's go find that, yeah. Lieutenant, be honest with me. Would you think less of me if I shot this guy? And then got just absolutely roaring drunk? I think we know each other pretty well by now, Kim. You can tell me, you can give me the unvarnished truth. Is this it? Little sandcastle over here?
Weather has not been kind to Lily's little sandcastle. The once mighty towers are quickly eroding away. You can see something shining back to you from what must have been a vast underground catacomb network.
Let's take it.
The walls and floors give way to the giant's greed, collapse and present you with a pair of ceramic gauntlets.
Congratulations. That's the gauntlets down then. We're doing good on the armor collection front.
Yeah, we're certainly not doing bad. Okay. Can the map be of navigation use here? No, not realistically, no. But basically the idea is we go west and then we can go that way to north. Here with this. Rust-eaten letters read Madzut. Rear tire of a motor carriage, adorning the reeds. Hey. Cha-ching. We're in the money. We're staying inside. Sleeping inside tonight. Yeah, ever since I threw my gun away, suicide has lost its luster. I'm just not a, brave enough to hang or cut himself guy. Little black swallow circles above you. You hear it chirrup. Swallows aren't like vultures, right, Kim? It's not circling above me because it's waiting for me to just drop. Interesting place. Well, there's somebody. He's got a child with him. Hopefully that means he's a responsible citizen who who will cooperate with the police. Necessity-driven architectural design at its finest. Excuse me, sir.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
A blond man standing next to his son, pointing to the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approaching and smiles.
You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez?
Nope.
I'm Trant Heilostam.
He turns to the lieutenant.
Must be Kim Kisaragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
That word must mean something different here.
Nice to meet you.
The lieutenant nods. Hold on. Hypertext?
Yes, hypertext. Young cop.
He says like it's self-evident. Okay. What was that you were saying about the windows when we came up?
Oh, yes. So, Mikhail, they had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall.
How about that? So you and Kim know each other?
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers.
I'd never heard of him. He rests his hand on the boy's shoulder. The child stays hidden behind the hem of his father's coat, clutching it to his worm-themed coloring book.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Garte. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into worms lately.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
Those aren't necessarily exclusive
But I
categories.
assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in 08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Ravers West.
Points to the building again.
This man is your half-brother. You feel it. But why?
Yeah, why would I think that?
Well, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis, a cybernetician from Grad. They run Vox in the Occidental countries.
Right, of course. So what's so fascinating to you about an empty building?
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building.
He raises his hand to his eyes, springtime sun warming his handsome face. All four of you turn to admire the mural before you.
What not a lot of people know is this used to be the R&D department of Feld Electrical. And Feld, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
Oh, you don't say.
What's R&D?
No, I think I know what that is. Let me look at the building.
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill.
I don't think I've ever heard of this place, Feld
That's
Electrical.
not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains.
He adjusts his suit jacket.
They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Ravers, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era.
How about that?
Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve. Or should I say, they were developing an ace up their sleeve.
He grins.
I'm mixing my metaphors here.
Yeah, it's a real mess. So what was the ace up his sleeve that he was developing?
It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for
He pauses for effect. Tape computer?
An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer. Which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet.
He grins, admiring that sentence that he just produced.
He assumes something like a combat stance, facing the wind.
And so what happened?
Indeed. What?
The revolution!
The boy wipes his nose on his sleeve.
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market.
He nods.
Feld's move to Ravers backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes. Possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins.
He pauses, pointing to the other building, and then continues.
All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D.
So you're saying that an electrical company built this boardwalk?
Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
A pleasure wheel?
A pleasure wheel?
Lieutenant looks wistfully at the horizon, as if picturing gondolas rising to the sky. I think a pleasure wheel is what they call a Ferris wheel.
Perhaps reminded of a
In
childhood
Ravers.
memory. It's clear he would prefer there were a big wheel lighting up the coast.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics.
And so,
had other plans.
Yeah. What happened to the engineers, the company folk?
Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys.
Breakthrough
But
imminent.
this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers...
Well, what did the revolutionaries do with the advanced tape computers?
They used them for military communications.
He says, while his son looks
Also
up.
to write and
Oh.
send out press releases. The most
Idly chewing.
notorious example being Le Décret de Mars.
On the corner of his Verm-themed coloring book. What was that? Le Décret de Mars?
What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created Commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02.
Right.
A short-lived legislative foundation for a short-lived utopia.
Right there.
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bon Baiser dans ce Lind. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree.
No.
I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it.
He looks at his son, who
Tried.
starts giggling,
Someone
his
was
face
much
hidden.
too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
Don't you hate it when your 5-year-old kid isn't working hard enough to memorize what? The communique that established the commune of Revachol?
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver verm on the cover of the book, already forgetting about this part of the discussion.
It's fair, kid. How'd these tape computers work? Kind of like radio computers?
Actually,
Not that I
no
know
one
how those work.
knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware.
He raises his finger, remembering something.
Buckle up.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompty Dumpty Dum Center in Vredefort, Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Juice joined the team, trying to...
Wait, did he just say Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center?
Yeah, I think he did.
He did it. He said Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center, like it's the most natural thing in the world. What the hell is a Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Juiced?
Yeah, okay, hold on. Can we back up? Can you fill in some footnotes for me? The Wompty Dumpty Dom Center, is that a real thing? Who's Ackerman? Who are Keith and Guy Juiced? Like, catch me up here. Talk to me like I'm an alcoholic who destroyed his entire long-term memory just a couple days ago.
The Wompty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Arts.
There it is again.
The exhibition
Those
itself
words.
drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman,
No.
chose to...
No. There's no Wompty Dumpty Dom Center. Kim, back me up here. There's no Wompty Dumpty Dom Center for the arts.
In fact, I'm not. The Wompty Dumpty Dom Center
He says
is a
casually.
place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center.
Clears his throat.
But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
Cool.
Very, very cool.
He
Though
agrees.
I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionary setting fire to this precious device.
Like the library
So
in
they did.
Alexandria.
The
Whatever
Feld
that is.
playback experiment vanished into the fires of 07.
But why did the revolutionaries destroy it?
Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building.
He takes a step back. The boardwalk creeps mournfully in the wind.
But of
I wanted to
course.
ask something else.
What
though.
else?
Well, all right. Me and the lieutenant here, we're murder police. Looking for a suspect? You seen anyone suspicious?
No, I'm afraid I can't help you with this one, officer. It's just a regular day off for me and Mikhail here.
Pats his son's head.
So you haven't seen anyone around?
Good follow-up question, Lieutenant.
No, I'm sorry. As I said, this is just a day off. We just arrived anyway.
Oh yeah, let's do a check on that. His voice sounds a little hasty.
There's something friendly and familiar in how he says that.
Ah.
A day off.
No, guess not. Great. Well, thanks for all that interesting information about tape computers.
No, thanks to you for having me and little Mikhail here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed.
Well, have a good day, sir.
Date of birth generator. You were born in the year 07. In the last year of the commune of Ravers, right before it fell, in the old military hospital on the ground floor, where people usually came to die during a snowstorm. The revolution had about 1 year left to go, and the fires were still burning bright. There were explosions in the blizzard. This was 44 years ago. You are 44 years old. The bloating might never leave your face, but beneath it, you still have some years. You still have some hope.
Hope springs eternal. Or as the Russians say, hope dies last. Oh, great. -1 difficulty. Oh, wait, that's good. My confidence is raised so I can do more physique stuff without actually having a better physique. I'm just less worried about like breaking a hip. And my learning cap for logic is raised. Well, I'm willing to bet I'll never need to upgrade my logic again. Nonetheless, hey, cool. I learned something about myself. I could study in my mind the Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center. Don't know why. It hurts my suggestion. Probably don't want that. At any rate, that's something we can think about later. I'll stare at this mural in a moment. Another power box. Charges nothing now. It's empty. Fence blocks the path. No way on from here. Yeah, you can't just climb over a fence. Oh, sweet. Free money. Surprised the kid didn't find it. His dad's not letting him root around.
Bright mural
Gathering up change.
Above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D.
But it doesn't say R&D. It says Recherche et Développement. So I really should have been able to put that together during the conversation.
A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, tomorrow is just a whisper away.
Tomorrow is just a whisper away.
Looks like tomorrow never came.
Lieutenant raises the collar of his bomber jacket. Touché, Lieutenant. Well, let's get out of here. It's interesting talking to you, sir. I wish you all the best. Bars cover these long, dusty windows. Imagine there's nothing to do up here on the boardwalk. I don't know how we get to that either. Well, perhaps. Okay. Straightforward way to get to that. What's going on in my mind, though? Oh, more quick travel unlocked. Electricity flows through the wires with audible power. Are they busting out all the quick travel now because they made this big, empty-ish area? Not necessarily empty, but like a lot of ground to cover for this secondary section that opens up on Wednesday. I thought people at this point in the quest might be losing their patience to walk everywhere just to avoid having Lieutenant Kim be like, 44-year-old drunk in a high-heeled boots doesn't seem like a guy should be running.
A yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone, unless you're out of change.
Yeah, who am I gonna call? Call Sylvie, upset her some more? There's a slit in the concrete here. Sewer?
The light vanishes inside the concrete slit. The structure goes deep under the earth.
What's in there?
Maybe it's just a storm drain for the sewer.
Kim, what do you think? Just a storm drain?
No idea. Could be connected to one of the buildings around here.
Think we might find Ruby hiding down there?
We might find her down somewhere. There's an old storm drain system beneath Martinez that's mostly collapsed. Reversal sewage system has been built and rebuilt 4 or 5 times now.
Oh my.
In conclusion, she could be under any building.
But you don't think she's in there?
I hope not.
Reasonable. Keeping hope alive, Lieutenant. Just going in a circle now. Just before we start shooting up there, I might as well just plumb the edge down here. See if I'm missing anything else. Oh, I forgot to go to the mailbox. Oh, a little box. Did someone leave money in it? Yes, they did. It's not the most dignified way for a police officer to behave. No boat in the boathouse. In fact, probably hasn't been for decades. Hell yeah, magnesium and some cool sunglasses. But those will mess up my visual calculus. And I'm much more of a brain guy than an actually seeming cool guy. Shoddily constructed boathouse. Get knocked over by a breeze. Money? You know it. Got that detective's sixth sense for where there might be money. Every detective has a sixth sense for just scrounging everywhere to try to pay their rent because their employer won't pay it for them.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Look, Kim, even more bullet holes. Someone down here.
Correct.
He examines the wall closely.
The density of the bullet holes is unusual. Even in a general average bullet hole frequency in Martinez sense.
Yeah.
Grim affairs. Meaning
Grim
this
is a theme
a lot
here.
Of bullet holes.
He brushes
It's
the
like
wall with his
fully
hand.
automatic rifle fire. Something you don't see these days.
Why don't you see that?
The manufacturing and sale of automatic rifles was curtailed after the revolution. The destructive power of such tools proved to be too much. We do need to retain some humanity in this world.
Yeah, who could, like, when you think about it, like, what civilized society would allow these kind of weapons to just proliferate? Well, why so many bullet holes? It's not the best odds, but... Oh, wait. Hold on. Still not going to be great odds, but a little closer to even.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread
Oh,
across the
above
cracked
even.
wall, reaching
Here we
from
go.
one corner to the other.
6 and 10, roughly.
A row
Ah.
of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them, a dozen at least, their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet. No sound, no movement.
Oof.
10 meters away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner. Automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by. The coats of
A
the
firing
flak
squad
flat
with
slowly
automatic
in the
weapons.
breeze. A single person stands on the side. The sun blazes high up in the sky, baking the planks, the sand, your skin. The order was carried out in the afternoon. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine have since washed all the blood away. Not a trace remains.
What
the
is this?
abundance of bullet holes
Level up.
leads to 2 options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed.
Grim. Look at the people against the
A
wall.
host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust. They were not sitting, a common practice for executions in some nations. as demonstrated by the height level of the bullet holes. They stand, facing the wall. It's impossible to discern any details about their personality or background.
Oh my.
Ordinary people, familiar, each and every one of them.
Who were they?
Comrades,
Yeah.
the forsaken, the wretched, who tried to rise against the horrors of the world.
For all the good it did him. And what about the horrors of the world?
7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from some side, but from which one? Men of duty, dark duty.
Who were they?
Murderers, twisted by orders, young boys forced into killing.
How about this one who's forcing them?
The commandant, the one who gives the order. Machine gun fire crackling through the air. The lights of the muzzle flashes dancing
The real
on his
killer.
face.
Kim, you know any backstory here?
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the parties involved in the revolution.
They didn't record it, but there was a pause where he was just staring for a bit.
Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists, put to death during the last stretch of the conflict by the coalition forces.
Remember what Trant Heidelstein said about Feld?
Guess it could have been Feld personnel, huh? When the revolutionaries were seizing their assets?
Another likely scenario.
He nods.
Or maybe.
But then you mentioned coalition forces. Could have been them?
Yeah. It's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the wall. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was a commandant, the superior giving the orders.
Yeah. I guess that's how you wind up being the one running the place.
A cold sea wind blows away the figures.
Well, ticket taker booth. It's no longer in operation. People used to pay money to park here. Now they just smash their cars through the ice and let them drown. Hey, what's this? Any money in here? 20 cents. I ain't too proud to crawl around in the dirt, scrounging up nickels. What's this? Ooh, they found Pippo. Interesting. The door, building, hiding place. Could our instigator be inside? I don't know. Hey, money. Garte's gonna be so excited when I both pay my board for the 3rd day in a row and then also give him a stuffed bird. On the same day where I found those pinball machines for him. I think our friend Garte is going to have to grudgingly admit that I've been a great guest at the Whirling and Rags. On the whole, once you average it out. On the median day I was here, I wasn't so bad. Oh, hey, is that a bottle that if I... Oh, hey, a person. A fellow. Excuse me, sir.
Here we go. Nice and easy.
Oh.
No way out, little guys. Not out of this jam.
I can't help but notice, sir.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Setting a trap for an imaginary beast, sir?
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
His self-conscious enthusiasm renders his movements ungainly. He looks like your understanding of a scientist.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Gary the Cryptofascist.
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it.
So we've got a Cryptofascist and a Cryptozoologist. Something tells me, Detective Sunch, you're Mural, Cryptozoologist?
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Lena sent me. You know, your wife. She's been worried about you. You're supposed to be back.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken. And we can't go all the way around the 881.
Yeah, that was me. I broke it. I'm sorry. I fixed it. Too, though. Very well. I didn't fix it, but I pulled the lever. It's there. You can go home.
You broke the water lock with a motor carriage. There was a billboard in the canal. Not a vehicle. It said Samaran Butter.
No. I'm not passing the buck here. I'm the one who caused the delay, which I'm sorry for. I hope that you got some good research done. But, like I said, you can go home now. Lena would like to see you.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary.
Yes, Gary. We can go soon.
Turns to you.
If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
I'll do that, sir.
This is a man possessed, always on the brink of some breakthrough. He won't leave if there's a sliver of hope. The great find might happen today.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
Lieutenant Kim raises a fair point.
Just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we go in.
He refastens a bit of netting that has come loose in the wind.
For all his passion, this man is diligent and patient. You could learn things from him.
Hey, you seem like an observant man. We're actually looking for a suspect down here. You've seen a woman with red hair? Kind of shifty.
I'm afraid not, officer. I've been busy digging around in the reeds for days, looking for signs of insect activity. I'm less interested in mammalian concerns, to be perfectly honest.
Go figure.
The lieutenant takes a short note in his notebook, then gestures for you to proceed.
Well, tell me about this phasmid you're looking for.
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it.
Why is it so difficult to find?
Question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there?
Yes, reedy as hell.
And I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators or scientists in our present case.
Oh yeah, like what?
It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defences that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex.
Oh, wow. And here I thought it was just my
But
drinking.
I cannot describe how these defences work, much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen.
Right, yeah.
Yes, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
You're beginning to suspect there's something paranatural about this phasmid.
And so what makes this stick bug so exciting to you? Like, it seems a lot less exciting than a lot of the cryptids, that I've heard of.
Typical rookie assumption.
He flashes a sideways
Insects
smile.
are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of any cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defences, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
Shakes his head.
Would be glory itself.
Well, what have you discovered so far?
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
Right. So how do those first-hand accounts, nobody ever found one, though?
Not yet.
He holds up
That's
an index
what makes
finger.
it a cryptid.
Right. Lieutenant interjects.
If there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
Careful, Kim. Don't destroy the man's entire worldview,
I know it's real.
the cryptozoologist says, briskly enough that even he seems taken aback by it.
By which I mean,
He says,
I've
gathering
heard
himself.
enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
Okay.
What would it be like to grasp and hold onto something you think is next to you, or just behind you, like a trace of vapor you exhaled one spring morning as a child?
Lena was telling us
This
there's
is what
actually...
he's searching for. A
Sorry.
spectre.
Lena said when I was talking to her, there's been a sighting of it right here in Martinez.
Yes, The most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the
Oh yeah,
coast.
like foul-mouthed shithead
That's
teenagers?
what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
Righto. Well, maybe what if it's died out, though?
I have to resist the thought.
He shakes his
Such
head
an
vigorously.
Extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
But why would anybody think that? I'll just give him... Okay, parthenogenesis?
Yes. The females don't need males to reproduce. Makes it easier for a species to survive in adverse conditions.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty clever.
Yes. The Insulindian phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why it's so damn difficult to catch. But as a scientist, I'll try my best to remain dispassionate.
A crypto scientist. A pseudo-scientist. Pardon me.
There's nothing dispassionate about the way he talks about the insect.
Tell me more about your traps.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick.
Oh, she made them for you.
Yes.
He says with some pride. How do they work?
Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can get back out. At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
Did you say you're using locusts as bait?
Locusts.
He gestures to the trap.
Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
So in cryptozoology, a hypothesis is just whatever bullshit you come up with, huh?
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm. A meat-eating stick insect? Does it pretend to be the reeds as part of its ambush behavior? This seems unlikely.
Yeah. Like, I'm not a cryptozoologist, sir, but like a carnivorous stick insect? Like, really?
Thank you for your opinion. We have also included plant material in the traps to satiate your skepticism.
As a scientist, don't you kind of feel like it's part of your responsibility to be skeptical?
Not a big fan of skepticism, this one.
Yeah, no kidding. What are you gonna do what's plan B?
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
But you haven't landed on the what if this is all just bullshit hypothesis?
Yes. What?
I can't help but want to return to the fact that your wife would really like you to come back, and you're just here in the mud not finding stick bugs.
And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
He looks south to where Lena would be.
Come on, Mural. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
Yeah, this shithead over here makes a good
Leave
point.
the traps? Absolutely not.
He yells in response. What if what...
Come on. She wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here.
Well, you don't have to squat like that,
if
Gary.
we don't dry out soon.
Won't let Lena down. Sounds like the cryptozoologist's wife shares a special connection to the phasmid somehow.
I didn't know the phasmid was so important to Lena.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers.
Really? She cited it. She didn't even mention that.
Yes. That's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine.
He coughs and then continues. It kind of seems like it's both of your stories to tell.
Needless to say, you must ask her about the mysterious phasmid.
Oh, of course.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't abandon course now.
He's coughing into his fist now. But maybe, like, Now that the water lock's fixed, you go back to the Whirling, warm up, rest, recover a little, recuperate, come back, check the traps later.
No. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the Phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
You'd still at least have a dead one, but there's a lot of locusts in these traps.
He's dead set on this.
What if we check the traps for you?
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
He looks at me with obvious surprise. Well, we're already down here looking for someone hiding on the coast. Maybe looking for something else. Complimentary.
Why not? At
The
least it will
lieutenant
give us
shrugs.
the excuse to look into a lot of reeds.
That it will.
Man cracks an unwieldy smile.
That it absolutely will. I hope you brought your good boots.
So where are all your traps?
There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula.
Not sure we're actually going to be checking
by
these
the
for him.
boathouse is there. It's very near.
This might be a white lie to get him to go back to his wife.
Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there. On your way to the old radio.
And yet, what if
tower,
these traps,
after the
one of these
tube.
traps has somehow picked up real evidence of something important?
The third is set near the canal, where you cross.
Sure hope all of this
by a
information is
concrete
recorded when it
slab.
creates a new
A big thicket
quest
of
item.
reeds going up the slope.
Task item.
And among them,
He gestures the trap in front of
you
him.
should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
Righto. And what do I do if there's actually a
Bring
phasmid?
it to me at once. Just make
Yeah.
sure the trap is closed tight.
And what if we're walking along and one of these reeds starts like jumping around?
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do,
Takes out a small white spray
I'll
can.
spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed.
Aye.
It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week.
I don't know.
Your choice.
He puts the spray
As I
back.
said, the chances of you encountering the Phasmid are next to 0.
I'm mostly just worried it's going to get me swarmed with locusts.
But you feel you should have it on you.
Yeah.
Something bad might happen. Don't mess around. Take the pheromone. It will make you sexier.
I don't feel like my brain is helping me here. I'm ready. We'll get to it.
Right. Which means you two can pack up and go back to the Whirling.
Indeed.
Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that these men are exhausted and in need of assistance.
Finally, someone's talking sense.
Shut up, Gary.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it.
If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have time for that later too.
Yeah, no rush.
But what if the information is vital on the hunt?
What if? Well, I'm going to get going. Get to work checking traps. Tell Lena I said hi. Tiny cages, carefully constructed. I guess we can talk to Gary.
Hello, I'm Gary. Very generous of you to help us out, officer. Yellow man. Officer.
Gary, you son of a bitch.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook.
Yeah, make a note. This guy's an asshole,
I'm
Lieutenant.
just waiting for my friend Mural to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
Oh, yeah? Not a big outdoorsman?
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Listen, man, nobody's perfect. You must have been tempted to drink at some point in your life.
Oh, I've been tempted.
He nods gravely.
But someone has to stay strong for Revocol.
His gaze shifts to the pile of soggy logs at his feet. Yeah, you seem real strong, Gary.
He pronounces Revocol with a hard K, unlike other people.
Must be a Nazi thing.
Serious question time. This man is no innocent. No
Huh.
one is.
I'm sorry. Couldn't help but notice. What's Revocol?
I like to pronounce it the hard way. The old way. The Vespertine way.
He nods solemnly. Some people just have a face and a voice and an ideology that makes you want to punch them.
The stupid way.
Uh-huh.
He winks at you, trying to relay some hidden message, inviting you to mispronounce it too, perhaps.
I don't know if you noticed that this is my buddy. So why would you think that I'm...
It's a secret rite. A very fringe nationalist handshake, probably.
So tell me, Gary, you know anything about the man that got hanged by the Whirling rags?
Oh, so that's what the RCM in Martinez is about. Great. Great
Nods
to
in
hear
sincere
someone's
approval.
finally taking care of that.
Righto.
So you do know something about it.
Lieutenant asks a fair question.
No.
He shakes his head emphatically, and he corrects his tie.
He was some kind of mercenary. But everyone here knows that. I'm just glad to hear you're looking into it. That's all.
He's not feeling very comfy in his clothes, is he? Strange.
You know, I'm a cop, and yet somebody came running up from just in the periphery of Gary's vision and just slugged him. I'm not sure I feel like I had enough information to make an arrest.
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere.
Oh yeah, sorry.
other than
You were
Sale.
surprised
I
to
meant
see my
no offense, truly.
Oh, yeah. Right. Lieutenant's actually Rivisholian.
Oh, yes. Of course he is. I was just speaking about his connections.
He flashes an impenetrable
Let's
smile.
change the subject, okay?
So you're a cryptozoologist too, Gary?
No. I help Mural with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way. But I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
Righto.
What does he do then? This feels like a good opportunity to dominate him.
What do you do then, Gary, if you're not a cryptozoologist?
Oh, this and that.
Huh. Sounds intriguing.
Sometimes.
See, he's being evasive. Shake him up. Show him who's boss.
It's not an answer, Gary.
I just didn't want to bore you with unnecessary detail, officer.
Oh yeah, I bet you're real often worried about boring other
I work
people.
as a special courier. You know, urgent deliveries, overnight deliveries, deliveries to out-of-the-way locations.
So you deliver things. You're a delivery boy. What kind of things you deliver, boy?
I don't know the contents, officer. Part of my job is discretion.
Oh yeah.
He's trying too hard to seem untroubled by your question. The rigidity in his posture gives him away.
Oh yeah, so you're delivering letters to the secret mistresses of corporate government officials?
What do I look like? A pansy?
Shut the fuck up,
Besides,
Gary.
That kind of cavorting goes against the community values that would strengthen our city.
You're a simple cop asking a simple question. He can't beat around the bush much longer.
Gary, you're not a suspect in anything. But if you keep acting suspicious, I might start suspecting you.
Okay, fine. You got me. I'm a special topping pie delivery courier.
Hear Aber meowing, but it is not her SUPPAR time. What, Gary?
You heard me. I deliver topping pies. It's temporary. I'm looking for another job. Not many jobs for good men out there these days.
So probably even fewer jobs for guys like you, huh? You said you deliver special topping pies. What makes your topping pie so special, Gary?
They're wheat-free and vegan and huge.
He pauses.
He's thinking of a way to gain some advantage from his embarrassing situation.
I don't see how you're going to do it, Gary.
That's basically it. I'm a pie delivery man. How about we change the subject?
I don't know, Gary.
I'm satisfied. Are you satisfied?
No, I got
Because
nothing.
I am.
Great chat, Gary. Thanks for your cooperation. Such as it was. Well, if that was your change, Gary, you've lost it now.
That patch of reeds over there, it's a great place to hide something. Kind of out of the way, being so close to the water.
I can't see anything interesting.
You don't have a reason to. Yet.
What is this about, Brain?
Nothing. Just a hunch. The hunch passes, leaving you there, by the old boy bobbing in the water. Time to go.
I don't know why I brought us down here, Lieutenant. I had a feeling. The feeling passed, and here we are. Well, let's carry on. We're wasting daylight. To the extent that there's any daylight left. We're wasting it. However, we're on the case.
The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of grime. They must have been like this for 40 years.
What's it look like in there?
Dripping water falls from a high place. All you can see is the shadow of a collapsing staircase. There's rust and corrosion on the bars. They're foaming with it. And a small layer of white salt from the sea.
All I see is a collapsing staircase, Lieutenant. You see anything there?
No. I won't even try. You know...
He takes his glasses off.
I had a partner once. They called him Eyes, because he had to show me things. It's that bad.
That's fair.
Of his eyes. Things didn't end well. It saddens him to say his name. Don't even ask. He wouldn't answer. Maybe some other small talk.
I'll just nod. Right, okay. This is the way we carry on the boardwalk. What do we got? Looks like a little shanty town, makeshift roof. Vagrants have tried to make this a habitable place. But that tarp, it's not going to keep out anything. Rain, snow, wind. Coin-operated weighing machine. Hey, glasses. Prescription lenses. But they're not my prescription, so they'll make my perception worse if I put them on. Even though they make me smarter. Simply because they are glasses. Hey, what's this?
Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing on this railing.
Ugh.
It smells
Does
really
not smell
bad.
good. Oh, I'm going to touch it, though.
The cloth, if you can still call it that, makes a soft crunching sound as you thrust your finger into it.
Anything notable about
It's
this?
streaked with dried seagull shit.
Disgusting.
And tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests that there might be a jacket beneath the crust of filth.
Ugh.
It seems likely that it was left in the surf until someone laid it out on this fence to dry out. Unfortunately, that just seems to have stiffened it into a shapeless mass.
Please tell me you're not taking that with you.
What if it's a clue, Lieutenant?
A clue? You think our suspect is a seagull who's been defecating on unsuspecting jacket?
No, I guess not.
Me neither.
You should still take it.
No. Can we do anything with this? Nope. Okay. Where to? Pathfind our way around. Let the game take care of that for us. Then we'll head up the way. Guess we should stop by that mailbox before we go. Thought. Kick drum pulse. There's music coming from somewhere. The shadow of a building is upon me. Well, here's a building. We could check it out. Dusty pews in the shadows. Oh, it's the old church. Let's go in the scary church, Lieutenant.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood.
Oh, rattle, rattle.
Nothing happens, only the sound of the padlock rattling against the door.
Fair.
I don't think that's going to work.
No
You
kidding,
think our
Lieutenant.
suspect is hiding inside?
I mean, she might be. It's worth checking out.
The lieutenant nods silently.
The carpentry.
Carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. 2 large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold.
How sturdy are these beams?
The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch.
How about the padlock?
This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker.
And the sticker says...
You see a yellow circle with 2 X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's make it
Lieutenant,
dead.
you recognize this symbol? Smiling dead guy?
He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean before inspecting the sticker. Then he looks up, pauses, and replies.
No.
What does it look like to you?
Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency.
What exactly suggests junior delinquency here?
I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth.
Ah.
Thus, it must be made by youths.
Well, let me see if I can get this off without ripping it.
Your hands are clammy from the sea.
Yeah.
The piece of sticker keeps slipping away.
Kim, could I grab your handkerchief for a sec? My hands are all wet. Can't
the
get it. The
lieutenant hands you a blue handkerchief. He looks a little dismayed when he gets it back crumpled. However, it should be easier to peel the sticker off now.
I'm sorry. I'm a barbarian, Lieutenant. But I think I can do this.
There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb.
Shake it off my thumb. Throw it in the wind.
Au revoir, sticker.
Don't know why I did that. What about the staple here?
The padlock passes through a staple that's been hastily attached to the wood. Closer inspection reveals that one of the screws is not a screw at all, but a nail. The work has been done recently and is unprofessional, to say the least. Should you want to get through, it might be easy to just pry the whole thing off.
Well, this is where Mr. Prybar is going to lend a hand, Lieutenant.
Maybe we should circle the building first and look for another way. The building has seen enough mistreatment.
There is a touch of guilt in his voice.
Huh? Should we start with the kick drum sound coming from the ice? I heard something like that before.
The pulsing bass. A sure sign of junior delinquency. Somewhere east of here.
Okay. Well, let's circle the church. See if there's anything. Altar shrouded in the dark or something. Who knows? Not a religious man. Oh, there's money up there. Oh no. Gotta say, Lieutenant, so far I'm not seeing a better way in than through the front door. Hey, Jacket, welcome. We're having a good Wednesday here. Made our way down the coast. Developed a bit of rapport with the Hardy Boys. Things are going well. Hope your Sunday's treating you well. Good. I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's a really great game. Hey, look, someone built like an Inukshuk kind of thing. Oh, who's this fella? Excuse me, sir.
A shaggy-looking girl in the
Madam.
late teens
Excuse
or
me, madam.
early 20s
Young lady.
kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this
Hey.
one likes to.
Kid, it is freezing out here. Where's your hat?
Huh?
She looks up at you distracted. I was just saying, you should have a hat on.
So should you.
I do. Granted, it doesn't cover my ears.
You don't have to do anything.
I mean, I should, and I do.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
It's nice, right? You should wear one too if you're going to stay out in this weather.
Yeah, well...
She tries to think of
Look,
something
man,
to say.
fuck the hat.
Your pulse rises.
No, I'm not going to get in a fight with this young lady.
What did she just say? That's not how a civilian is supposed to address an officer of the law.
No, this isn't important. Is that kind of language really necessary, young lady?
I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else.
You are forgiven.
My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me.
There's a pained expression on her face. She'll answer your questions now. I knew this wasn't a established authority kind of situation. That's part of having a good sense of authority. What's your name?
Acele.
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing. There's a coarseness to her features, some masculinity below that timidness.
And you're a Acele underscore?
Why?
We're police, just for our paperwork.
Okay, it's Burger.
Acele Burger.
A very common name. You have little reason to doubt that's her real name. But she's not all that surprised by this cop show questioning, is she?
We're going to talk to her, build some trust. What's that device you have?
This is a portable recording
Breathes on her
device.
freezing fingers.
It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
And then the wires?
Actually, just one wire.
Ah.
I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone.
And what's a contact microphone?
Contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Neat.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike.
Great, yeah. What am I supposed to do with that, brain?
No idea.
And so how does it work?
The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble.
And where'd you get it from?
Same place I got the recorder from, the Elysium.
What's that?
Oh man, you haven't been to the Elysium?
She
It's
forgets
the
herself for a
coolest place
moment.
in this whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians
Boogie
live
Street.
there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck.
Oh yeah? You see any disco musicians in
Thinking
Jamrock?
about it really cheers her up. It's a long way from here, though.
Oh my goodness. Nope. My Harrier is a good guy. Sounds interesting. Who is this Arno guy?
Oh yeah.
She
Guess
looks
you
you
would
over,
know
assessing your
Benny.
age.
Or really be a Palaceum going kind of person.
Nah. Come on, I get down.
I don't know what that means.
You know, grind.
I don't know what that means either.
Yeah. Means I'm hip beyond my years.
That's cool.
She breathes on her fingers. Looks like she doesn't know what to say. You're right. Time has left me behind.
Sucks, man.
Oof.
Was there something else about
That's
the
all right.
contact mic?
We have lots of
perhaps?
magnesium. Actually, I had some non-microphone related questions.
Okay.
What are you doing with your contact mic? I guess it is a contact mic question.
Recording, I guess.
But like what?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice. But there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
She scratches her forehead. What happened to the headphones?
My boyfriend sold them.
What for?
I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
That's fucked up.
Everything checks out, sire.
Damn it. What are these recordings for? The cracks? The footsteps?
The musicians in the Palaceum used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out
Number
of cracks in
9?
the ice and
Number
keys
9?
jangling.
That kind of thing?
Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain.
Nodding.
Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway.
She rubs her shoulders, looks around.
I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
Maybe you'll get one.
She looks at the recording device. The thing she thought would fill her hours with joy and escape. It's turning out to be an empty fantasy.
Oh, this is sad.
She feels childish. Very useless all of a sudden.
Well, maybe it'll make her feel useful to cooperate with a police investigation.
The sharp drop in endorphins is almost visible. Like a warm blanket has fallen off her shoulders. The wave of chill. The quivering jaw. Indications of a drug high.
Take this, your call.
Lieutenant begins to take off his jacket.
No, man, fuck that. I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
Lieutenant backs up. He throws you a glance. I'm gonna give her my hat. I wish I had a different hat on. See how this is where a hat would come in handy?
Maybe you were right about the hat.
Well, look, you need this more than I do.
Thanks.
She puts it on. It's a bit large for her. So you said it's supposed to be a music place. What is supposed to be a music place?
That?
Points
boys
towards the
think it
church.
could be a place, like the Palaceum or something. Stupid. It's really
She pauses.
not going to be a Palaceum, that's for sure.
And the boys?
Yeah. Andre and the guys, they're inside, in the tent.
Right.
And why is that?
Why are you freezing out here with the boys inside?
They got too much stuff crammed in there. No room.
What kind of stuff?
Music stuff, mostly. Like this tape recorder, but bigger.
And they can't
there's
just leave.
piles of it.
They can't just leave some of this outside. Let you in.
That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter. I can take the cold.
This is fucked up. I had some other questions,
Go
actually.
ahead.
Let's show off my empathy. Tape recorder lies on the ice like a discarded toy. Pick it up.
The device is still warm from her touch and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo, Omicron, adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands.
Acele, look, I'm sorry that you're here, sitting on the ice with your, coming down. Your age, any age, this weather. It sucks, just waiting for it to get dark.
She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup.
You know, the people who built this place, Acele, it meant for it to be better for you. People like you. And they failed. But it's easier to live in their failure when you got this gear by your side. Tapping on the tape
wind
recorder.
howls. She remains silent.
I'm bumming her out.
It's real. Tell her.
It's not a fantasy, wanting to make music. It can be a real weapon against whatever's coming for you.
What is?
Nothing if you got this. There's no reason to be scared.
Okay.
Her
I'll
teeth rattle.
stick to it.
She takes the device from you, places it in her lap.
There is little you can do to help her now. But given the chance, you feel like you should. There is something about her. A weightiness. Something changes between you two. She looks at you differently now. As an equal. A fellow human being.
I see that's one of my skills. People feel off-put that you're an authority figure. But after a little bit of time talking to old Harry Dubois, you just look at him as just some schmuck just like you.
So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer?
Eating me? Oh, there's nothing eating me.
Come on, I can tell. But, okay. Be a boyadero about it if you want to.
No, look, you know what? You open up to me. Listen, Sal. I've just been... There's something making my life hell.
What is it?
Just hurts me to see people always putting their selfish interests ahead of the greater good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know? No one understands sometimes you gotta make sacrifices for progress. It's all
So,
very distressing.
the thing that's been eating you is the slow pace of social progress.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, slow and steady progress is important, but... I just wish people would be a little more reasonable sometimes.
Okay. So you're not that upset, it sounds like.
I mean... I'm highly distressed.
Uh-huh. And you're sure it's social progress you're distressed about, and not, I don't know, some chick?
Listen, I'm positive. I guess. But I had some questions for you before
Go
we
ahead.
went down this thing. Have you seen a redheaded woman?
No.
Just no?
It's pretty desolate here. I only hear the dogs bark at night. and see the shadows move down the coast.
Hey, no neighbors to complain once you get the club going.
Exactly. It's our chance to turn the grim desolation into an overwhelmingly fun dance party.
Could you tell me anything else about your music place?
It's supposed to become like a club for anodic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Elysium.
Kind of sounds like the music Ross makes on Friends.
Except that, yeah.
She looks at the old wooden church up at the poles. As a mean wind comes bellowing in. 6-story structure, that's sort of doleful shriek. So, anodic dance music.
You know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments.
Like what kind of electronic instruments?
Synthesizers and tape consoles. Microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. Also found sounds, stuff like that.
You see clear, beautiful, violent flashes of light. Light cutting through a smoke-filled darkness. That is what the future will look like, if it ever comes.
Ah, the future. So you're gonna make the church into a dance club.
I know.
She
It's
nods
not my
towards the
idea.
sloping wood.
Andre and the
Shivers.
boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it. Hey, you two are cops.
Yeah. Why do you ask?
Okay, well, maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys, because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right?
I'll talk to them.
They're inside that thing there.
She points
Would
to the
be cool
tent.
if you did. Was there something else?
Did you put the padlock on the door?
No,
No?
not really. No.
Okay. So about that
What do
church.
you need to know?
Nothing else, I guess.
Go ahead.
You're a lot less resistant to questioning than a lot of the folks I've been meeting here in Ravers in Martinez. What's up with that?
Well, it's just questioning, right? You're just questioning me. It's what cops do.
Have you been questioned before?
Once or twice, yeah. I'm sorry I haven't had the Ravers experience they get east of the river.
What's east of the river?
Rich people. Rich people are east of the river.
Ah, yeah. Good to know.
Yeah.
So, you've gotten into trouble with the police?
The usual. I had a shitty run as a teenager.
What's the usual?
You know, drinking, getting into fights. The ugly stuff that happens when you move out your parents' place at 13. In Forberg.
Why'd you have to move out when you were just 13?
My dad was a drunk. Plus, I guess, I just wanted to drink too, you know. Get my party on.
Yeah. Just take it from me, kid. Drinking, partying, disco music. It's not a road you want to go down.
She nods very cautiously.
Well, I guess that's it for now, Acele. You take care.
Okay, bye.
She turns her head. Attention back to the recording device. I need a new hat. Is that the only hat I had? No, I've got the orange bum hat. Wish I could have given her the orange bum hat. Oh well. Guess I'll just go hatless for now. Let's talk to the boys. How am I for time?
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men
Coming
are
close to the
listening
end.
to some new
But
form
maybe
of
we'll
music.
inspect the church as
It's
a
like
climax.
nothing you've
Or maybe we'll
ever
be
heard.
leaving it for
One of them looks at you.
the start of next time.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
It's safe to assume this is their leader, or at least he thinks he is.
Alright, squeeze in.
Sorry, you barely have room for one.
Ah, can you wait out here in the cold, Lieutenant?
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll
Nah.
keep watch.
Well, you know, Lieutenant, I do believe the children are the future. Hey, boys.
A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman Walshy tape player, nodding along to the music. He looks at you with a knowing smile and says, as though you're supposed to be sharing some tremendous evangelical secret.
Hardcore!
Is it?
It's hardcore!
You just gonna keep on saying it's hardcore?
Skibbity, skibberdanger. I am the rearranger.
Shabadee shabadoo.
Your cop training did not prepare you for this. What to do? Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think?
Thanks, Egghead.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure
Andre.
to meet you.
Hey.
His grip
Mutual.
is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
You know, back in my day, we tried to avoid the Noid.
And Egghead. Egg!
Tape player high above his head continues to blast what is probably anodic music.
Together with Acele Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
Oh yeah, how many music venues have you organized?
We have many in the pipeline, officer.
Ha! And so why are you here on
You see,
the
we've
ice?
been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Sure.
Also for talent.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
Yeah, there's no need to apologize. It is a bad place.
Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
Come again?
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Sure.
Dopeheads! Burnouts!
He angrily spits on a screw and then starts cleaning it.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Revershol. Strike that! The world! And sadly yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts hold up in there are the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are.
Eh.
Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
So what kind of dopeheads and burnouts are the worst kind?
The spooky kind.
And what makes them so spooky?
I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge.
I can't help but feel like you're blowing smoke, Andre.
Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse.
People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for.
I mean, I'll look into it just because I have to do so anyway.
All right, man.
Clasped his hands enthusiastically.
Andre's obviously very happy you took
I'm just
him
such a helpful guy.
The whole tent is. The boys exchange giddy looks.
Did you put the padlock on that door?
Yes. I asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation.
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
Well, I need the key.
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key.
All right.
Boom, he throws it at me. I'm going to try to catch it.
It's as if time is frozen.
I failed,
somehow.
but thanks to that
You
gimmick, I
think you can
heal my
sense
health.
the key moving in the air. Yeah, this is going to be way cool.
But I'm not going to overdo it. Just minimum effort.
Blam! Straight
Ah.
in the eye. Straight in the old eye.
Well, that's ironic.
In the look.
Healed for failing the check, but the cost of failing the check is getting hurt.
A stabbing pain. Tears stream uncontrollably from your right eye.
Oh, fuck. Ah, what is wrong with you? Just hit me in the eye with the fucking key.
I'm super sorry. That was totally my bad. I got overexcited. Threw him too hard. I'm
I'm sorry.
He looks like he's genuinely sorry. He didn't throw that better.
What the fuck? I'm losing my mind. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You almost blinded me. A cop. That's the use of lethal force.
I really am sorry, man. Just take this, okay?
Pulls out some black paper from his belt pack.
Wow. Looks like there's quite a lot there.
No, I don't need your pity money, kid. Where were we?
The key?
He hands me the key. Thank you,
He's
Andre.
shifting in his spot, uncomfortably, still feeling sorry for the mishap.
I don't feel great about yelling at him like
We were
that.
talking about the padlock, I think.
We were. And speaking of the padlock, how long have you locked those people in there?
Not long. Like a week, maybe?
You're not worried they might starve to death?
I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
85% is an A in a university class, but it's way too low of a percentage when you're talking about another human being's life.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You don't sound
I'm sorry too. I guess it wasn't very hardcore of us to just lock them in like that.
No, it wasn't. Is the Noid here the only one who's capable of actually sounding like he's sorry?
Me too. I shouldn't have that kind of power over another person. I'm not the one with the violence monopoly here. You are.
Although now that
Glad
makes it
that
sound like
key
he's
is out of my
being
hands
sarcastic. Okay, moving on.
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it.
Who are these people?
Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses.
You haven't even seen them, but you know you need the cops involved.
Well, there's also the machinery.
This machinery is of the deeply mystical variety.
When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
Andre, tell him about the feeling.
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
Freaky.
No, the other one.
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg.
Felt like silence. Awful silence.
For this man, even regular silence is awful enough. But that was something greater.
So you haven't literally seen anybody.
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church a couple of times, and we felt someone or something eyeing us inside. But that's kind of it.
So this woman you saw, redhead by any chance? Looks like a lorry driver?
Sure, why not? Yeah.
But not really. Brown hair, old, heavy, dark signs.
So,
What Noid said.
resolve this? Okay. Great, Andre.
So brown and older, Ruby might have dyed her hair.
No.
Though it seems like a stretch at this point.
He thought something was watching you.
Like you aren't alone, you know?
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
Maybe like a bug that looks like a reed?
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crab man.
Crab man.
Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling, like a crab.
Is that a thing that crabs do?
It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behavior.
Ambush behavior. Okay. Crab man. Okay.
Crab man!
Shut up, egghead.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. Acele was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and
Maybe
says
she'll
there's
be
a
able to
crab in
testify
there,
to this
there's
more
a crab
clearly.
in there.
You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
I'm always nice, except, when I was chewing you out a minute ago.
The implications of this are too numerous to consider. Proceed with caution. Learn all you can before entering that dark building.
Sure.
There probably is no crab man.
That's
Don't
probably
let them
true.
draw you in with this nonsense.
And so, do you know anything about this machinery?
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely.
With a small surge of PEA, alertness fills you, as if to say, this is a dark corner.
jacked up to some snuff station.
It means like one of those rich boy private radio stations where you can listen to people getting killed on, then jerk off to it. Sick shit.
The rich are not like you and me, kids.
That, Noid just likes to relay stuff. We're getting derailed here. In short, you can tell to Noid about the machines.
Right, yeah, you said that.
He'll tell you more.
So what makes you sure that these people are burnouts and dope heads if you've only seen one person and you haven't actually yet seen any of them?
Well, honestly, I can't, but I am.
Why not? Let's go with that.
Well, I don't see a single thing wrong with that
I'm
argument.
70% sure they're substance users. Don't let the technology fool you.
He makes little quotation marks with his fingers when he says technology. All right, we'll talk about something else.
What?
I don't actually want to talk to Egghead. No, that's it.
As always, we'll be right here.
For sure, kid.
So
Noid.
you had a talk with Andre, and now you want to discuss things with Noid. Good.
Skin shows through the holes in the Speed Freak's too large sweater. In front of him, an open toolbox full of carpentry tools and parts.
It's good you talked to Andre first. Gave me time to get a reading on your sign. Can't really talk to people before you get a reading.
He runs his hand through his hair, which is combed back in mock seriousness. He continues to fiddle some gears. Sign?
Yeah, gotta compare. See if we can align.
Interesting.
I suck at socialising, man.
No, you
Even
don't say.
Now our sign synchronisation is way off. But I'll see what I can do.
I saw a sticker on your padlock. What's up with that?
A sticker? You mean the yellow one? Can you describe it to me?
Okay. Yellow circle, like a human face. It's got X's for eyes, smile underneath. X's to communicate that he's dead.
Good, good.
He likes what he's hearing. Well, was I right? So that's just what it's supposed to be?
Yes, you're the 23rd person to get it right. And I've asked 23 people. Looks like it's a dead guy smiling to the entire race.
Good stuff, Cedric. That one will work beautifully in a very small percentage of situations, but probably never be offensively disastrous in the cases where it doesn't work. Not bad as far as a pickup line goes. So why do you think that's so?
We're all the same. Same eyes, same smiles, same death.
Okay, and what does that mean?
He defeated history. We are living in the age of history, and in the eyes of history, we are always already dead. How can we ever smile then? Because history is a lie, and so are its deaths. The present moment and life are the hardcore. The hardcore expels death. Or maybe he's not dead. Maybe he's just really ecstatic about the beats.
Maybe.
Or drugged out of his mind, come to think of it.
He could be drugged out of his mind, huh?
Or drunk. Or in a clinical coma. Or glad to be dead. But those versions suck.
I think we've worn this
I
line
guess
of questioning
one
out.
could write an entire treatise on the thing. But what for?
Tell me about the machines
Weird
from the
stuff.
church.
Specialised. There was a data processor and some sort of long-wave machinery.
Right.
Wires going into water. Gives off a spy sign. Or some fucked up Samaran science sign. You know, the kind that goes head first into the supernatural.
The supernatural. You think that's real?
Most of it doesn't exist. But there's also stuff that isn't allowed to exist. Because the moralists think it's too dangerous for the plebs.
Right.
Sonic powers, pale-related diseases, pretenders pretending to be human, folk rights, that kind of stuff.
Why do they call you the Noid?
The hardcore aesthetic is esoteric. It's not meant to be discussed with the law at this moment.
Pick up some sort of widget.
It's not easy to reach a harmonic resonance of signs without some adjustment.
Does this mean that we need sign matching?
Yes. Further sign matching would do good for us. One way to achieve this would be by getting us into the church.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll come back and talk to you later, Noid. Pile of nasal sprays. Brand name, Nosifed Ultra. Well, that was something, Lieutenant. I got the key.
The shaggy-haired girl kneels on the
Hold on.
sea ice. She looks up
Now my logic's
as
too
you
good.
approach.
So you talked to my associates, right? Are you going to help us? With the church, I mean.
I'll help you. Yeah.
Great. Let us know if there's any progress, will ya? We've been waiting for weeks here.
Yeah, well, I mean, the others told me that you actually went inside. What'd you see in there? Crabman, anything like that?
Oh, that. You're not going to believe me. There's no point in me telling you.
She's less prone to blurt it out, Crabman, than the others.
I mean, we'll see. Won't know until you tell me.
Okay. I went
She
in and I
nods.
saw a woman next to one of those machines there. Noid calls it a mainframe. She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother, you know, strange old clothes. Had this absent expression, didn't say anything, just stood still.
Go on.
And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall. Upside down like a crab, down the church wall. I think the woman didn't even know he was there. He was completely silent. He stopped right before he got to the floor, then just hung there like that, looking at me. Right at me. I fucking turned around and walked out. End of story.
Like a crab, you say?
Lieutenant nods. His face is stone. Yeah, what did this Crabman look like, Acele?
It was too dark.
She shakes
I
her
couldn't
head.
tell exactly.
Come on. She obviously could. She already went into detail.
Come on. Quit stalling, Acele. What do you look like?
He looked like a banger, okay? He was all muscular and stuff. Had a mesh tank top. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that only made it scarier in a way.
A crab and a banger?
The lieutenant raises an eyebrow.
Yes, a banger. As in a mess gang member. I know what it sounds like, but that's what I saw.
Well, you were wrong. I believe you, to an extent. Not necessarily this was a Crabman, but I believe that you think you saw one.
Why?
It's too ludicrous to lie about.
I guess so. Anyway, what else?
I mean, could you tell me more about the boys?
Associates? I haven't got much to say about them.
What do you mean? You must know something about them.
Of course I do. I just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on. I don't provide information on them.
Ah. Okay. Maybe we'll talk about this later.
Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of tasks people tell me they don't think I'm going to be able to accomplish. But in the end, I accomplished my tasks, young lady. All right. I think this is the spot for me to wrap up. Danielle said she was going to start making supper right about now. So I can lend a hand, hang out with her, keep her company, be ready when it's ready. All that kind of good stuff. And we have a natural starting point for next time. Heading into the church. So, although I don't think this has ever once mattered that I do this, I will formally save. Go back to the main menu. And we'll wrap up. Disco Elysium, great game. How much more can me and Kim get inspected before we're just too tired? We got to go home. Pay Garte, who's hopefully up late, still waiting. Hasn't shut down for the night and locked the door by the time I get back there. I don't think he will. Hit him with the bird. Score some friendship points. We're winning some people over. Amazing what you can do when you just don't drink yourself into miserable depression. As soon as you wake up. How about that? So yeah, onwards and upwards. We'll be carrying on in Wednesday night next time. What else is on the horizon? Come Wednesday, Gregory will be here for Greg and James Beat 'em Up, our ongoing exploration of the beat 'em up genre. We're getting so close to having played every beat 'em up there ever was up through 1993, which is phase 2 of our project. So that's exciting. We'll be playing some Genesis beat 'em up. I don't remember the name of it. And hopefully I will remember to dig out my Wii U and find Pro Controllers and charge them up so we can go diving in to Dungeons & Dragons Tower of Doom by Capcom, which I have on my Wii U. So hopefully that's still working wherever it is. The Wii U is an underrated console, but I won't get sidetracked into that. Come Friday, it's time for Friday Night Frosthaven. Greg, Rich, and I will be carrying on. Actually, we'll be heading back to the outpost, and from the outpost, depending on how quickly we get through it, off to the Thawed Wood, a scenario that we just unlocked. Winter is coming, and we're running out of time to lock down an alliance with the Lurkers. before winter comes, and we put a lot of cards where the lurkers attack the outpost into the event deck. What you gonna do? Hopefully soon enough we achieve that alliance. Time will tell. Next Saturday, it'll be me playing Space Quest V, The Next Mutation, and most likely finishing the game. Because Danielle will be out of town, so as mentioned, Leisure Suit Larry and the Professor Jamie Rose will have to take a break until she's back. Sometime later in March, hopefully, we'll make it work. The Saturday after that might be tricky because we're going to drag brunch once again, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll feel inspired by a drag brunch, come home and get ready. Who knows? And then next Sunday, before you know it, we're back here for session 10 with Disco Elysium, carrying on, probably finishing Wednesday, moving into Thursday. Does this game have a weekend? I don't know, but we're getting closer and closer to finding out. And I'm excited to find out because I think I've conveyed this. I'm really digging this game, and I can't wait to find out what's coming next. Hope you're as excited as I am. So check it out. If you stuck around to the end, thanks for sticking around to the end. If you came and you left, you can't hear my voice. I'm glad you stopped by anyway. So thanks for stopping by. And until the next time, when we're busted into that church together, take care of yourselves and be kind to everyone you meet.